a bit of a step in the water, like toe in the water. Let's see, one, does Lot 54 as a brand even have any kind of pull anymore? Does anyone give a shit? Like, I don't know. It's been 4 or 5 years since we did anything, and like...
Woo! This is a fucking special one, boys. I can't hear shit. Hold on. Hold on.
It's cracking, bitches.
Hello. All right.
Yes, sir.
Here we go. We are back, boys. Cheers.
Salut.
Cheers, everyone.
Salut.
This is a fucking special
Salut.
one, man.
Hey.
We are joined by someone special. We've wanted to do this one for a while. We've been talking to each other on and off now for what? Month, maybe a couple months,
Yeah, maybe 2 months or so.
So, everyone who is from Western Sydney, the ages of what? Probably 25 and above.
Yeah, at least 25 and above should.
Knows what Lot 54 was. So, we are here with Shane Eggleton, and also DJ under...
front to back, and then also St. Paras as well.
There you go. So, which one's your solo?
Both of them are solo.
Because wasn't front to back, was that ever a duo though?
It was a duo for like 90% of it.
I thought so. Yeah. Because I was tripping out. I'm like, bro, I swear front to back you guys are a duo for fucking ages.
Yeah.
So guys, man, like I said, if you're from the area, man, this is a fucking special episode, bro. So, Lot 54, man, let's just fucking get straight into it, bro. So obviously we all know a couple of years ago, yous were cranking. Like, I mean, yous were absolute. It was basically at one point the only fun thing to do in the area was Lot 54.
Wait, hold, before we get too deep, why don't you explain to people who might not know what is Lot 54?
Yeah, okay,
What's the idea? What is it?
I guess it was kind of a funny thing. So everyone obviously knows like the Peachtree Hotel as well, right? And for years that was just like the daddy of every Friday night. Everyone used to just go there, just party. Everyone just used to get loose. And then, one day we just sort of came up with this idea of let's just take what they already had and just excel it a little bit more. So basically we'd go, whatever the core product they had, let's just throw a bit more money at it, bit bigger artist, bigger production, and make it a bit different. So like every stage setting would be a different setting to what the last one was. And we'd had like dancers, CO2 cannons, confetti, all that sort of fun shit.
Yeah.
And just create something that was a little bit different. And then it sort of snowballed from there into being a theatre show and fucking doing like a little bit of like a show up in Queensland, a show in the city, all this sort of stuff. Yeah. So
do you remember what year it was when you started by any chance?
Maybe 2015, somewhere around there.
Yeah, so it's been a hot fucking minute.
How did you start? How do you get your foot in the door to do that, like with the venues and shit?
Yeah.
Like,
so, funny story. I probably won't name the other venue, but was working with them for quite some time as well, probably 2-3 years, doing a similar thing. It's almost cut and paste is what I did with it, just changed the name. But left that venue and just literally I was DJing at the Peachtree, so I kind of knew the venue management there already. Yep. Just approached them with an idea and ironically I just sort of like, what am I going to call this thing if I actually get it off the ground? I had no idea. Yeah. And they sort of gave the green light and I was like, all right, sweet, let's give it a crack. But they didn't want to do it on Fridays. They wanted to try on Saturdays. Yeah, right. So we did it on Saturdays. We did 2 events and then basically they made the call that they didn't want to do a Friday and a Saturday night with like 1,000+ people in the venue because it's just too hairy for them with like licensing and all that sort of shit. So just gave us a Friday to give it a go at, and we went from there. And
Friday was the one that
went off. Yeah.
So basically, just from DJing, is how you
literally just DJing and going. You know what? I could probably run this event as well. Like, let me give it a crack. As like I was probably 19, 20 when I first did my first event. Yeah, and that's pretty good, man. And it sort of just picked up. And as you would know, like running events is not easy.
Oh fuck, man. Yeah, dude.
It's not a fun thing to do, man.
It's just, but do you remember the very first one you did, bro? Do you remember how did that go numbers wise? Did that kind of get traction almost straight away, or was it one of those things where you were like, okay, fuck, you got to like the 5th, 6th one, you're like, bro, I don't know if this is going to work, and then you get that one that goes, okay, fuck, this is working, or was it kind of straight away, was it like, holy shit?
The first event I ever did, not Lot 54, or first Lot 54?
Both. Your first actual event and then Lot 54.
Yeah, the first actual event's a bit of a funny one. So I kind of just had this idea over like the summer holidays, Christmas, whatever. Messaged the venue owner at the time and he sort of like said, no, not really, like not that keen. They messaged me whilst I was on holidays over December and was like, let's give it a crack. Let's see what you can do. Yeah, again, it wasn't on their normal night. It was off the, like they usually did a normal night. We did it the night after. Yeah. And I literally had like no cash to put into an event. It was just an idea that I I was like, when it became a real thing, I was like, shit, what am I going to do here?
Yeah.
And my dad was like, all right, here's $500. Go and see what you can do. So I booked A-Tones and Samurai to do like just two like banging DJs at the time. Like A-Tones.
What genre of music?
Literally like just heavy house music.
Okay.
Yeah. And like just give it a crack. So something a little bit different. It's not commercial, just something a bit different.
Yeah.
And then man, we literally filled this place up with like I spent $500 on both those guys, took a punt on production, said fuck it, let's see if I can make the money back on the actual sales of the door. Otherwise I was in the hole for a couple grand. And we did something like 800 people or whatever, just off the cuff. I had literally no experience in it. All we had was like, okay, these two DJs that had a decent following.
Yeah.
Front to back was like sort of starting to pick up, so we had a decent crowd there. And then I just had a bunch of absolute weapons of local guys that also had a big following too. So it was kind of like a rent-a-crowd almost.
Yeah.
And it just snowballed from there. Once like a group of people got into it, another group, and then just went from that. But with Lot 54, by that stage, my own personal brand of running events kind of had a bit of a feel for it.
Yeah, right.
And we were like, okay, let's see what we can do on this Saturday night at Peachy. And it was just a random night. It wasn't even anything special. It was around about, it was Valentine's Day. So I thought, I was like, what am I going to do here? I'm not going to do a cheesy Valentine's Day party. So I did a fuck Valentine's Day party. So rather than your red light, green light, whatever those traffic light parties. I was like, let's do a fuck Valentine's Day party. We had like Bad Cupid dancers. Again, we just like did a bigger production. And I don't know if you remember them at the time, New World Sound. They just made like the biggest song that was on like Avicii's label, was #1 on Beatport, all this sort of stuff. I'd had connections with them, so I booked them in there, plus Ember, which is another Ministry of Sound local from Sydney. And yeah, man, we just absolutely romped the Peachy on a Saturday.
Man, that's fucking awesome, man.
So like, I mean, look, to put it out there, man, like there's a rule of thumb. You basically fail your first like 3 shows, and then you make your money back on the 4th.
Yeah.
I was probably an anomaly with that never happened to me. And I was made well aware of that by everyone around me, that it wasn't normal. So I got lucky with that.
So, but it sounds though the one thing that is kind of like the thing that's similar with what you were doing is, do you believe that is it who you're booking is what's gonna sell? Because I feel like you were like A-Tones at the time, they were fucking popping. I full saw them at DEF CON and shit when I was like young. So do you think that's kind of a main way to go about it? Is it essentially acts sell tickets?
I think definitely at the time, man, like you just got to follow the trend of what's hot. And but it's not even like going out and getting the biggest, most expensive act and all that sort of stuff. It's creating that vibe between, like, you got your headliner, and that's something a little bit against the grain as to what maybe the venue's done in the past. But then also tailoring it around your support acts as well, and having your support acts know exactly what they need to do to make that headline set fucking pop. And then also accompanying that with, like, I'm a big person on production. If your production's shit, your show's shit, as far as I'm concerned. So like, you got to make sure that it's also there to meet that level of what you want to present, you know?
So production wise, as in CO2 cannons,
I'm a sucker for CO2 cannons. If you give me a CO2 button, I'm just smashing that button all fucking day.
If there's enough people vaping at the venue, you can have your own free.
Joey fucking sitting there.
I'll sit there next to the speaker.
Just sit there under the decks, just blowing up.
Strawberry kiwi.
We need to get one of them things, man.
That is
synergy.
That is fucking. It's awesome, man, and that's why. So here's a little backstory now on how this has happened. So obviously I know what fucking Lot 54 is, and as soon as I seen that you did that thing on Instagram saying we're returning, bro, I hit you up straight away, man.
I think it was about 2 minutes.
2 minutes, bro. 2 minutes. I was like, bro, and like, again, guys, when it comes to networking and shit too, like, it wasn't just like, hey man, fucking let's do something. It was, introduce myself, dude. I've been a fan. I feel like the biggest thing people seem to forget, especially youngins coming into the scene, it's how important it is to support other people's shit as well.
100%.
Like that is so fucking important, bro. Like, if you got some random kid, he's got 10,000 followers, he's never come to a Synergy, never been to a Lot 54, but he's like, hey man, I'm popping, give me a set, I'll do a set. But you've got, say, Joey K, who's a friend, he's putting in effort, he wants to do sets and shit. I'm always going to pick you over the guy who's got 10,000 followers. There might be other people do it differently, but how big do you? Is that your values as well? Where you're big on kind of supporting,
mate? 110%. Like you could ask any of like the guys that became residents at Lot 54. Like there's a good mate of mine who started. He's now part of the Lot 54 business as well. Used to DJ under Ransacked. His name's Brandon. Mate, he will tell anyone I put him through the ringer to become a Lot 54 resident.
Yeah,
like, I would like put him on and stuff. Like don't get me wrong, I wouldn't not book him. But like, I wanted to make sure that him and like even some of the other guys as well. It wasn't I was doing it to be a dick or anything. I just wanted to make sure that they were a part of the community.
Yeah, 100%.
So before I even like let them go, yeah, you're playing before guys like Timmy Trump at Mashton Kutcher at the time, all those guys that were like absolutely top tier.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna do that for you, but I need to see you guys are actually going to be coming and supporting the events, even when you're not playing.
Yes.
Just come down, get rowdy with the crew. Like you're gonna have a fucking good time.
Yeah.
But it makes it so much better when you're actually playing because that same other crew is there to support you as well. So you basically create that tight-knit group, right?
Yeah.
It's give and take as well. You can't just be like, hey, book me because I want like a bit of clout or I want to make some money.
100%.
And then you're not there for all the other shows. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely, man. Like,
and it's not they've got to come to every show without fail. People have stuff on, but you'd like to think that the people that are performing are generally like regular supporters of the show, you know?
yeah, 100%, man.
Not just that too. Just like if you perform, man, I'm telling you, bro, don't.
What's up, Australia? Do you like going to the gym? Do you like staying hydrated? What about making content? Well, now you can hit all those birds with one stone with the Hydro Grip. This is a stainless steel double wall bottle that'll keep your drinks nice and cold or warm for hours on end. Best part, your phone sticks right to the top like that. You can flip it up, and next time you're in the gym, place it wherever you want, get your cool angles, show off your reps, post it to all your lovely followers, and you can tell them you got it from the Hydro Grip. Best part, 10% of all sales is donated to the Sydney Children's Hospital Foundation. So check it out. Stay hydrated. Hydro Grip. Sheesh.
Perform and dip. Like, do not do that shit. Like, even just hang out for even a couple hours, an hour, get a drink, meet the crowd, share your Instagram around, talk to the fucking guy running the shit, talk to the venue, and you meet the other DJs. Because I've been to some events, bro, where you see these motherfuckers, they rock up, plug their USB in, they do a fucking mediocre set, and then they leave. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, this motherfucker didn't even.
Or when their set's not first, like they don't even come early, like they just come 5 minutes before their set. They were, and then they fucking bounce.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm notorious for rocking up like a minute before my set. But in saying that, I'm also notorious for being the last one to leave the venue too.
Well, there you go.
I pick it up on the other end of it.
You'd rather that than come early and then as soon as the set starts,
you leave.
Yeah, like I get like as you said, Joey. Like there's people that got other shit on. They might have other gigs on and all that sort of stuff. Like fuck, that's perfectly fine, man. Rock up, play, fuck off. I don't care. But like, yeah, if you're coming down and just having a good night, and then as you said, if you just dip like 20 minutes later or 15 minutes later, or you smoke bomb, like
I don't know.
Unless there's a good. I mean, again, a good reason could be I just don't want to be here tonight. Like I'm tired or whatever.
What did you say? If you smoke bomb, what's that?
I just absolutely just don't even say goodbye to anyone.
Backdoor it.
Backdoor it, yeah.
Oh, smoke bomb, yeah.
Irish goodbye.
I was like, have you never heard of that?
I know what a smoke bomb is, but I've never heard it used as in like backdooring it. Yeah,
mate, that's my favourite saying. I'm a typical smoke bomber too. So all the stuff that I say,
do as I say, not what I do.
Literally, every time I'm like, don't do this, I'm going to be the one to do it.
You're doing it at your own fucking events. Your DJ latest together.
Oh, mate, there'll be some guys out there that'll sit there and go, "Oi, where the fuck's Shane gone?" And it's like 20 minutes, 30 minutes later, an hour later, here I am again. And they're like, "Where the fuck did you go?" I don't even know, man.
You're doing the side quest, eh? You're doing the side.
I'm doing the round somewhere, bro. I'm sitting in the back room somewhere, just chilling out. Like I don't know, man. Come find me. I'm here somewhere.
That's fucking gold. So let's then talk about. So then you're doing that for a while, right? Lot 54 at this point's fucking peak. How often you weren't doing monthly, but you were getting close, weren't you?
No. So we started out monthly and basically held that for most of the time, just to try to keep, I guess, the consistency. And the reason why we did monthly is we didn't need to do fortnightly or weekly or anything like that because the Peachtree was also part of it. And Sorry, I thought my phone was ringing.
That's your phone.
I was like,
No,
what?
it's not ringing at all. Oh,
It was buzzing. You were getting messages.
He's inconsiderate cunts, bro.
keep going, bro. Keep going.
But yeah, no. So we had the Peachtree going as well, and I wasn't like running that at the time. Like towards the end, I did, but like, I wasn't running the Peachtree at the time. But I was sort of involved with sort of knowing what was going on. We'd plan the lineups around each other so that it made sense. So like the first week, second week, third week, it was a build up slowly to the bigger Lot 54 show. And then that was how he stayed consistent. Was we were the big one at the end of the month. You know, everyone knew that was going to be the biggest one, and the ticket prices would be higher. But when you walk in, you also see all the other shit that we brought into it. You know.
Yeah. Okay. So as in, so you're doing shows almost weekly, but then the end of the month is like the big.
As the venue, that's what they did. Yeah. So as Peachtree was doing that, we like basically collaborated with them for fuck, I don't even know, 6-7 years or whatever it was. And then they went through a couple of sales of ownership and things like that, and like eventually that's what stopped Lot 54 at the Peachtree. Was there was new owners that didn't want anything to do with like the nightlife side of things, which is fair. Like they want to do what they want to do, but as with a couple of the owner changes, they basically decided they want to keep it going, but it was changing staff and things like that. So they asked me at the time, did I want to take over the Peachy Fridays as well? So I was basically running all the nights, but Lot 54 was my baby, and then Peachtree was doing their own thing as well.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. Okay, and then what about COVID then swings around, right?
Yeah, COVID didn't really affect us. We'd already sort of wrapped up before that, but that really put a nail in the coffin for it coming back.
Yeah.
So like we'd moved on from the Peachtree. We went to Panthers, did a monster show at the Evans Theatre there as well.
Yeah.
And then when the Peachtree wrapped up, we moved to Penrith Hotel, or Top Pub if anyone knows that one, and not the biggest venue in the world. But
Where's that? Is that the one at the hotel at the Panthers?
No. That's the one near Officeworks on High Street.
Oh,
True.
yeah.
Like, it's not the biggest venue in the world, and like we, in all honesty, man, we copped a bit of flack for it. No disregard to the venue, like they're fucking hectic venue. They do what they do up there, but we copped flack for it, and all I said was like, just trust us. Like I went there for a reason, and on the first show, everyone walked in and went, "What the fuck have you done to this venue?" Like we flipped it on its head. We had a massive stage, full line array system. The shit was falling off the roof.
Yeah.
we had lights dropping down off the roof. Like the what's the roof made out of? I don't even know. It's like that plasticky shit or whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, all that stuff, all the dust is like coming off of it on top of people. Like we didn't expect any of that. We're like, oh shit.
Is there much money that goes into production? Like as even like if you had a percentage, right, of like the money that goes into artists, all the other things, the little intricate things that are involved, is production a big part of that? Because it sounds
Massive part.
It sounds
Massive
like
part.
So do you just have to kind of fork out the money for that off the bat, and then it's the profit essentially? Yeah,
essentially. So basically, like, I mean, look, it's all relative. That's the way I look at production. Is it's relative to what size artist you got as well. So if you've got someone like a Timmy Trumpet or a Will Sparks or something like that, at the time they were like the biggest people in Australia.
Yeah.
You have to essentially match that with the level of production that you're giving them as well. You can't just put them up with like, I don't know, a little T-bar and
streamers.
streamers and shit. You have to have those impact things like CO2, confetti, all that stuff. And like at times we did beach balls and random shit like that.
Yeah, that's cool.
But like, you can scale it back when you got smaller artists as well. But 100%, like I used to sort of look at it, like not looking at numbers or anything, but I used to look at probably the percentage versus the artist or the night would cost. The production would be a solid like 30 to 40% of it.
Oh, yeah,
Easily would be.
And then and it obviously does help for a good production, because any little, whether it's a little small gig or a festival or whatever it is, when the production's mad, that's the biggest that's the biggest response from the fans or the people that come. They're like, oh, the production was hectic, like, but you know what I mean? Like they really, I feel like for me, and this isn't involving like little shows like this, but for example, when I seen Kendrick in 2015, right? The production of his show, like he had like the live music, this and that, and like that made a big difference. So in terms of like a show like Lot 54 or whatever, you need to have like something that's just not just the artist, is what you're trying to say.
Yeah, 100%, man. Like it's one of those things, as you said. Like if everyone walks away from the show, they go, "Oh yeah, the DJ was cool, but I was pretty drunk. I don't remember it." But what do they look? What do they look at? Their videos, their photos, all that sort of shit, and that's what they actually look at. Yeah, it could be whatever DJ standing on stage, but if they've got like confetti blowing around them and stuff like that, they're going, "Fuck, those photos look sick." I must have had a good night.
That's a good point.
Okay.
On the flip side, though, I think personally, if the artists are good enough, personally, obviously you know more than I do, but as a consumer, when I'm there, if they didn't have much production, but the artists are hectic, I'd still enjoy that as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But obviously it adds to it.
Well, I mean, there's artists that have like a scaled back production because they are good enough like that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if you guys saw the Rufus de Soul photos from when they did it at the Harbour.
The Harbour, yeah.
Like, to me, that production was 10 out of 10 because they didn't actually have that much. It was
It was
just,
just like a few lights and shit.
it was 4 big trussings, and then they used the Harbour, and that was the production. You know, like the sunset on the Harbour. And Rufus de Soul don't need to have confetti and CO2 and all that. They don't need it. They're just that good on their own. So yeah, you're 100% right.
Yeah.
But I feel like what the production like that also helps with is people who necessarily don't know the artist or don't know, but they're going with their homies. They're just going for a night out, you know what I mean? So they don't really know who's playing, but then they see all this cool shit and then it makes it more memorable for them.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah, okay, interesting. So I love, so if you're listening right now, you're probably gathering that you're big on kind of following the trend at the time. So that's always going to be, because we all know music, it evolves, right, over time. So like a couple years ago, the fucking in thing's trap, and then now it's kind of like drum and bass, and then fucking all this bullshit, it just changes over time. Okay, so COVID then kind of puts the nail in the coffin, right?
Yep.
How long are you then out of the game for entirely?
Fuck. How long ago was 3 months ago? Like I was still DJing and things on the side. Like I'd stopped front. I actually like front to back. I'd shut that down. Like I peaked just before COVID with front to back. I went over to Sky Garden, played there in Bali, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's fucking sick.
That's
That was one of the coolest sets I've ever played. I got to play there twice, which was luckily for me.
Yeah.
But mate, that production there, that whole stage, that everything at that club was nuts.
It's like
What
bamboo
kind-
sticks and shit.
what kind of music do you DJ?
So front to back, I was predominantly like trap, dubstep.
Use a trap. Trap.
The St. Paras brand was something I started after COVID, which was more like around commercial house style stuff. So vocal kind of, but up tempo house. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Okay, so then you're out of the game, and then what makes you go, you know what, fuck it, I'm returning. I'm coming back. What was that? Because me and you were talking obviously on the phone before we tee this up, and you just said, bro, you have that itch, man, and some of us cannot scratch it, bro. So what happens there?
He heard Synergy was on the map.
I heard you.
It inspired him.
Let me show these new kids what it's like.
Bro, what's the itch, bro? What happens there?
Yeah, no, man, it's funny. Like, you're 100% right. And as I said, it is that itch. But, like, to be honest with you, I'd well and truly scratched that itch years ago. Like, it became a full-blown business to me after a while. But after COVID and things going on and, like, the way the scene had gone now and like, even now, still DJing now, I'll still do, like, I won't even DJ under front to back or anything. It's just a random set. And I'll do, like, a 4 or 5 hour gig at a pub. Like, it's easy enough for me to do. It's easy money, and it's not a bad way to run it. Yeah. But you sort of look on the flip side. You're like, "Where's the fun shit in this?" What are we doing here? Like, and that sort of created that itch again. And then, like, I've got a really good friendship group that are still like around the scene, all that sort of stuff as well. And mate, it's the old peer pressure thing as well. Like, they were just in my ear, just barking. Come on, do it again. Like, I'll do it with you or whatever, all this sort of stuff. And I'm just like, for about 2 years, I was like, nah, fuck off. Not even thinking about it. Like, not a chance is this going to happen again. Yeah. And then, one day I was kind of like on the fence about it. Like, it'd been months that I was on the fence about doing it. And I'm like, even then, where am I going to do it? How do I what venue am I going to do it at? All that sort of stuff. And then, one day I got a knock on the door, not a knock on the door, call on the phone. And it was basically a venue on my lap. Do you want to do something here? And I was like, yeah, fuck it.
So hold on. And then that brings me to the next question. Is that now the Elk Bar?
That's Elk Bar now, yeah.
Okay, so that's how then, so they hit you up.
Yeah. The marketing manager at the time hit me up. They've been open for about a year. So the old High Street Social, that got completely renovated. Like, it looks $1 million now. Yeah, it's so nice in there. And they were doing like acoustic bands and all that sort of stuff. And I mean, it was doing what it was doing there. It was doing well, but they just thought, let's diversify, you know?
Ramp it up a little bit.
Yeah, let's diversify. Let's see what we can do with something a bit different. And, you know, honestly, I don't think at the time they knew what they were sort of getting into. So I was kind of like, the first one I was sort of like, this is what we're looking at. This is what we're going to do. Let's see how we can go with it. And it was a bit of like, oh, I'm not sure that's the right thing. And I'm like, I'm still going to do it.
Okay.
You asked for it.
Yeah. So, I mean, look, it's a really good relationship we have with them there. They're really cool. They're open to letting me do what I want. But yeah, to basically, they were nervous at the start because they'd never done anything like that before.
Of course.
So it's kind of like lean on your experience and just show them, okay, this is what it could be like. So we basically did 2 events that were like a bit of a step in the water, like toe in the water. Let's see, one, does Lot 54 as a brand even have any kind of pull anymore? Does anyone give a shit? Like, I don't know. It's been 4 or 5 years since we did anything. And like there'd been times where we almost did. Like we almost had a night a few times and sort of ended up sort of teasing people on social media by accident. Not I got a bit excited, post something and be like, oh fuck, it's not going ahead, delete.
Okay.
But yeah, man, when we finally announced it and it stayed there for like the whole week and everyone like really realized, oh shit, you're actually doing this. And then we did it, like we announced more and more and it got more and more going ahead. Yeah, man, like the first night we sold like 140 tickets and it's only a 200-person venue. Like
that's all. And this is on High Street.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
So they had no idea what was going on.
Yeah, you've done 2 comeback shows so far.
Yeah, we've done one that was literally like just a locals night. It was myself, some of the other guys like Hijackers that were a big name at the time as well when I was doing it. I can't remember the lineup now. Completely forget. Oh, my old DJ partner Ben, he DJs under another brand now. He came and did a show.
Awesome.
We did a bit of a combined, like I don't know, maybe 5-10 minutes of a front to back set, like it used to be.
Yeah.
So that we didn't announce anything like that because we didn't know if we were going to do it. Like,
and then you just do it. That's
he was
cool.
literally playing after me, so I was like, "Fuck it, let's just jump on for a second."
That's cool.
So we got on and played one of our old originals that was like a proper front to back original. And that was kind of cool for.
And then you done the hip hop night, yeah.
Then we did the hip hop night, yeah.
And how did that go as well? That was good, too. Wasn't it?
That was good. It was different. But like the reason I did that was basically because Lot 54 at the Peachy used to be like a full blown massive main stage, and then there was a hip hop room at the back side of the Peachy, which that used to go off without even trying to promote it. There'd be like 200 people out there, no matter what, in this little fucking corner of the Peachy.
100%.
So there was definitely a market for it as well. So we just thought, let's test it out, see what is going to happen there as well. Like we got nothing to lose. So we booked DJ K Time for that one, and I played a hip hop set as well. And then there's a couple of other guys that we just wanted to see what the vibe would be like. And yeah, man, we still did really good on that. I was probably 120, 130 people for that one. And then with that, we sort of like, you know what, let's go gangbusters and let's see what happens.
Let's go big.
So it was hip hop DJ sets, not like hip hop artists performing.
It was
live.
hip hop DJ sets, yeah.
Okay. See, and it was what I was saying too. That when I sent you that first message when I hit you up, man, it was like, we're finally now. Sydney is slowly. We've gone from this to this. Now. But we're just we're chugging along, bro. And it's like, you know, guys like you and in 54 and then us, and we're trying to help it, just prod those fucking that steam train along, bro. And it's fucking so cool, man. So let's talk about now this weekend.
Yep.
Let the people know, man, what's happening, because I will be there. I am going. Me and Mr. Meagley from TJM Records are going to go, and we're going to have a fucking good time. Let the people know what's happening, man.
We'll get a crazy night in for you, mate. Trust me.
Oh, mate. Let the people know, man. What's happening?
So we're bringing Scandal back for the first time in like 6 years, I think it was. I'm really good mates with Tom. He's one of the most down to earth people I've ever met. He's an absolute legend.
Gun DJ too, man.
Oh,
DJ.
amazing.
Yeah.
Like his production's just hectic as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, when we got the all clear, let's go a bit harder. Let's put on a proper act. Let's do a bigger production, all this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
The first person I called, I literally just called Tom and I was like, bro, I need your help. And he's like, what do you need? And I'm like, dude, I've got like, we're doing a show. I want you back. And he's like, I don't know if I can do it. Like, just because it was a fairly short notice. It's like a month's notice. He ended up like, I don't think he cancelled a show or anything. I think he just moved shows around to make it work.
Yep.
Which is like, I'm so appreciative of him doing that. But yeah, man. So for the first time in like a proper amount of time, we're going gangbusters.
Yeah.
With yeah, we're bringing back the CO2. We've got cold spark fireworks in the venue. We've got like,
God damn, man.
and then obviously Scandal jumping on. He's going to just absolutely rip in. And I spoke to him the other day, obviously because he's DJ. He's DJ for me for about, I think we worked out, it was 12 years ago was the first time I booked him.
Yeah, right.
And then I've probably booked him once a year since then.
Yeah. Okay.
If not twice a year, but over different various brands and shows and things. But yeah, man. So to get him back on, and like, I just knew that if we're going to do it, we got to do it right, you know. So that's when we're spending a bit more on the production this time. We're making sure that obviously ticket sales are a bit more expensive than previous, but at the same time, it's going to be totally worth it. You're going to walk in and go, shit.
Yeah.
This is not Elk Bar that I go to on a Thursday night or a Friday night. Like this is Lot 54, you know.
Yeah. 100%.
And is it on Saturday?
Yes. Yeah. Saturday.
Yeah. That's the thing too, is that people, right? It's the thing that's funny is that people complain about ticket pricing, right? But when you divide the ticket price by how many artists you're seeing, you're literally paying like $4 an artist or something stupid like
And
that.
especially if you got fucking fireworks and shit in the building too, like, bro.
Like all you fucking cunts that are always complaining, man. Fuck.
Like anything, you pay for what
You pay for what you get.
Pay for what you
Pay
get.
for what you get, man.
So if you walk into an empty room and it's just the artist and you're paying like $90 a ticket or $100, you're like, what's happened?
Yeah, you can be pissed off at that.
Yeah, but if you're seeing all this shit taking place in front of you, like it's like having an amazing meal, but it's expensive. But you can kind of walk away being like, I'm fucking satisfied. Like from what I just had, you know what I mean?
It's like going to Korean barbecue and dropping $400 on soju. You're like, I'm still happy about this decision.
Fucking no. Okay, this is exciting times right now. Exciting times. So especially considering that Penrith being local. So we did something in Elton Chong's, right, which is locals, and that was an absolute fucking success, man.
We popped off, man.
We
That
popped
was
off,
fucking
right?
so good, man.
But the funniest thing is that, was it you that said that? When it was like when you walked out the front to have a smoke, there was like a tumbleweed just like going across
dead.
Penrith.
Nothing's there.
There's nothing happening, but then you turn back around and it's popping off in that one place.
We had randoms walking past and buying the extra tickets because we sold out.
And it's just seeing now that it's like, bro, and it's what we spoke about as well off air. It's like this is now such a good way for both of our brands to now work together to keep this music shit pushing. But at the end of the day, is like, you've got that itch that needs to get scratched. We're new, but we're doing it because we've got that itch. So now it's like perfect synergy that just works together. And you just
Good plug there, mate. Good plug.
and you just we just together, bro. So let the people know, what is kind of the future now for Lot 54. Do you want to go back to the fucking monthly gigs? Are you happy at the moment doing it every now and then? Like, where's your kind of...
Look, definitely. Like, I mean, in all honesty, man, it was kind of like a 2 week, or not 2 week, but 2 event trial in my own head.
Like a tester. Yeah.
Like if it didn't work in those first 2 events, I was gone again. Like I would have just Harry Houdini'd out of there. I wasn't coming back, bro.
Smoke bomb.
Smoke bomb. There's another one for you, bro. Feel free to steal that.
I'm going to steal it. I'm going to use that whenever I can.
But like I would have just gone straight back out again, because it's just, for me, as I said, the itch had been scratched. It was kind of like, it was more of it's also kind of like I don't know, an ego-y kind of thing. Like, can I still do this? Like, let's see. And I'm still finding that. Like, I haven't had that gangbuster event again yet. Like, you know, it's still on that building stage, which again, man, like it's probably the first time since like creating an event. This is the first time I've actually had to try to work for it. But in saying that, I've had all the experience now to try to put together all what I need to do to get it done.
And you've got the name behind you, where people that were following you before, when they see a Lot 54 show taking place, you kind of don't have to worry as much about getting as many. Like, the more shows you do, you know the fans that enjoyed themselves last time are more than likely going to be there this time. It's about always attracting newer people.
Yeah.
It's exactly what we spoke about on the phone. It's now, how do you... It's all well and dandy for us because we're that age group that we know what Lot 54 is. We know what fucking Front to Back is, Hijackers, 8 Tones, all this shit, Tiger Lily when they were at fucking Peachtree all the time. We know that shit. But the youngins, the 20-year-olds, the 19-year-old, it's like you said on the phone, it's like you almost got to re-educate these motherfuckers. Because don't forget, these motherfuckers, unlucky for them, say what you want about Gen Z and Gen Alpha and that. Yes, they're fucking weird as shit, but they grew up during COVID. So they didn't have that. They didn't have a Lot 54 in their fucking backyard.
Yeah.
They didn't have a fucking synergy down the road. So they've basically grown up with nothing. And then all of a sudden it's, Lot 54, what the fuck's this? What the fuck's this? What the fuck's this? So it's like you said, you've almost got to re-educate these youngins on what the fuck's happening, who's Scandal, who's A-Tones, who's this. But for us, it's all well and dandy because we already know we were a part of that wave. So how are you? Where do you see yourself? How do you find yourself trying to attract that new younger audience?
Yeah,
because I wouldn't even know where to fucking begin with that.
It's a really good question, and in all honesty, mate, I'm still figuring it out. It's just it's going to be one of those things that it's just going to be trial and error.
Make a TikTok dance or something.
Yeah, fuck that.
All the Gen Z.
Well, will be there dancing at the front.
well, sort of off that, like, so you shown interest in wanting to do hip hop and stuff. So like, I think a lot of this new generation too, it is a lot of hip hop.
Yeah, 100%. I agree.
But so you did the DJ thing, right, with hip hop songs that people know and shit, right? Yep. How do you feel with live hip hop artists? Are you trying to branch out and have more live hip hop artists, hip hop acts? How are you gonna like incorporate that? Like, what's your vibe?
Oh, like, man, I've done it before in the past, like really long time ago now, where we had a live singer and stuff like that as well, like proper hip hop artist. I think his name was Miracle at the time. I don't know whether he's still going or not, but anyway, like that was hectic. That popped off amazingly, and it was kind of like a hybrid thing. So it was like DJs for 90% of the time. He was the headliner. And then also like rapped and stuff like that over it, and then went back to DJs again.
Yeah,
there's definitely a market for it, and like I'm not against doing that at all. Like it is a point of difference, and I guess that's sort of back to your question there. It's kind of like where I think I can feel like maybe between the two brands, or even just anyone else wanting to get into it. That's I think what you need to sort of do is go against the grain a little bit.
100%,
because like at the moment, like you've got venues out there that they're doing decent numbers, and like there's not much there. Like they've got a lot of people, and that's all they've got going for them. Like it's the place to be at the moment, right? The moment something actually starts to take over a little bit more, and it becomes that competition of, oh shit, we're going to have to like spend money to keep up with these guys now.
Yeah, 100%.
That's where it's going to become interesting. And like, man, I welcome that. Like a lot of people think that I don't like other venues like trying to do something, mate. It's only good because it just creates a vibe around the city.
It makes everyone want to do better.
It's the old thing. It's a rising tide raises all ships, or whatever that fucking saying is. It's one of those things, man. If you've got 4 venues that are popping off, mate, fantastic. Because guess what? I want to be one of those.
100%. Yeah, so and I agree with that, because I can think of some venues. I'm not going to name any venues, but they're the ones in like a bit closer to the city, obviously. And you see them doing these things, and it's so dope and it's cool, and I'm happy for them. But it's kind of like it's the same shit almost.
Like one-trick pony kind of
It's like the one-trick pony thing, but because that's the spot, and especially I feel like towards the city, say what you want about them, they've got more of a nightlife than us, right? Yeah.
And there's a certain demographic that like a certain music when you get towards the city, right? Like, would you say like have you noticed that when you do city shows compared to out west, are the people out west, are they more kind of satisfied with more grungy music, whereas out in the city, is it more house, or is it more you know what I mean? Like, is it more a sophisticated vibe?
I guess like now I don't really know. It's kind of across the board. Like everyone really likes a bit of drum and bass at the moment, as you said. But also
like that's in at the moment. I feel like
it's massively in at the moment. But it's kind of replaced trap. Like all the fans of trap have now gone to drum and bass, which is fair. I mean, fuck, I love drum and bass just as much as I love trap.
I still love trap.
It's just bass music to me, man. Like I don't care. I love all bass music.
Yeah.
But then again, like I mean, look, there's definitely a market for pure house music out in Western Sydney, but would I put on a pure house music show out here? Probably not. Would I put on Party Thieves again? Fucking oath. Like if he would do it, yeah, definitely I'd put him out here. Like because again, it sort of comes to that nostalgia piece. You've got guys out here like young kids that really popped off, like Bomb. Like he was a local, he's a local Penrith guy, and like was a resident of Lot 54. Now he's touring around all the time, like fucking doing major festivals and shit. That's awesome. Fucking oath, would I put him on at Lot 54? Yeah, not even a second chance. Would I? Like, not even a second thought. Would I put him on?
Yeah. Okay. And then what about, you've obviously dealt with some international artists like fucking Bear Grylls, which to me is, my opinion, your biggest win.
I was about to ask who is your biggest that you've put.
That's my opinion, because I'm a bass head, and Bear Grylls at the time, popping dubstep artist, man. I've got so much Bear Grylls in my playlist. Mr. Meagley does, all the boys do. So to me, that was your biggest fucking dub, right? So that's props, bro. But that's speaking from a bass head.
Yep.
Let the people know how difficult and what is the risk to reward ratio when you're dealing with internationals? Because let's be honest, the pricing that these guys can charge is they can literally say, yeah, I'll do your set for a fucking, give me your pinky finger.
Where's he from though?
He was American.
Yeah.
Give me your pinky finger,
you at least got to cover the airfare.
No, it's a little bit. It's different. So I mean, look, if you're doing a one show type thing, then yeah, you're up for the full freight. Like you got to do everything right. But I mean, I guess I was a little bit smart where I kind of just always tack myself onto another show. If they're doing a tour, right?
Yeah, then you try to.
I would sneak in a cheeky little show here or there. Like I had DJ Slink out here for Christmas Eve. We didn't announce him until Christmas Eve because he was doing another show the night before at the Ivy.
Yeah,
so the deal that I had was it was a secret headliner. We had Lude as the headliner of Lot 54 for Christmas Eve with on a little side of the banner saying secret international headliner as well. That morning, the moment he played that show, the next morning everyone woke up, it was DJ Slink as well as Lude. So like little things like that, you kind of can get cheeky around it, and it's like, I mean, I don't think it's cheeky. I think it's smart, but
yeah, it's very smart.
That's very smart.
It is cheeky though,
because
it's so smart. Yeah, I am being cheeky,
but also as well, that comes down to your point earlier about networking, man. Like, fuck, there'd be some promoters out there that don't want to do that with you. So you have to find the promoters that are happy to work with you in that sense. And like you just create deals, and it comes in swings and roundabouts where you might get a show and they might want to pick up the second show that late in that night or whatever. And as long as you're not competing with each other, man, I was always more than happy to do it. There's a few out there that I would always link up with if we could do something like that. Like even Bear Grylls that night, he played at Lot 54 at Panthers and then went up to the Central Coast and played another show that same night.
Fuck.
But no one knew about it. Like the Central Coast people knew that he was playing up there.
Yeah, of course.
Penrith people knew he was playing down here. No one knew there was a link between the two.
Yeah. So and then when you're doing that, you're obviously then dealing with his management team. Yeah. How does that's the thing that interests me the most is how do you get in contact and then for them to even respond and go, bro, fuck it, for X amount, he'll do it.
Yeah.
How does that fucking work?
A lot of the time, it's not actually directly their management. It's usually agencies from out here that will tour him. So at the time, Ministry of Sound were touring him, or I think they're Tomorrow Music now. But they were touring him out here, and I had the connections with them. From over the years, and then the agent that I used to work with quite often knew that we did bass music out here, knew that we were a decent show, and basically said, "Hey, we've got Bear Grylls available. Are you in?" And I was like, fucking oath.
Yeah, right.
So is he the biggest name you would say in your opinion, or?
He'd definitely be up there, man. It would be the biggest show we did, but that was also accompanied with Party Thieves and Ian Munro on the same show. But it was also the fact that we had the Evans Theatre. Like no one had done an Evans Theatre show since like Elevate when we were like 14 or something.
Yeah.
So to get that theatre back online again, mate, it was basically a one hit show for us. We were in and out pretty quickly.
So that was the best show, right? But was he your biggest dub in terms of artist though? Like as in personally, because it's all perspective, right? It's all whoever you enjoy. Or
it's all perspective. To me, it was because I love that shit.
Yeah,
to me, seeing him here, I was like, how the fuck this can't do this?
Was he that artist?
I think probably not. Like he'd be one of the biggest ones, but for me, just my personal dub was getting Lude and Enchway out here for the first time.
Enchway is huge.
When they were like just hitting that, like Lude had just dropped La Di Da, all that sort of stuff. Like all of his songs were starting to get crazy, but they still weren't massive yet. Like Lude wasn't who he is right now. Like he was so hot at the time that everyone, when we announced it, everyone went, "What the fuck?" And I paid cents on the dollar to compare to what it would be now for him. And yeah, man. So for some of those ones were kind of like my favorite. Like they were the big wins for me because also, and even like Party Thieves as well. We were his first Australian show for him out here.
Yeah, I was there that night.
Like that was nuts. And like those wins as well for me, the personal ones. Like because it's not even like how big they were then; it's how big they got.
Exactly.
And then we still had that relationship that even now and again we brought Party Thieves out here like 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So like, I mean, I don't know whether we could do it again or not. Maybe, hopefully, we'll see. But yeah, I mean, he's not actually DJing too much at the moment. I know that, but I mean. If he wanted to come back again, hey, hit us up.
And are all these dudes that you've gotten international, have they all been from the US or is they dudes from other places? Like
Ian Munro's New Zealander, Party Thieves US, Bear Grylls US. Yeah, most of them be US.
US. Because at the time, US, EDM and trap.
Yeah, they were fucking
absolutely.
It's a long way to come for a show, right?
Yeah, you're not coming for one show.
One show. You're doing
2 months. Yeah, you're doing 2 months out here.
Okay, so now let's the nitty gritty. You don't have to say any figures or numbers. Was there ever a show you did that was at a loss,
In the red.
break even, in the red. Let the because to all the people listening is probably like, oh fuck yeah, I can just
I can
fucking
do this,
book-
yeah.
But let's get real for a second. The stress of planning. Have you ever, like I said, we're only I've done shows before COVID, but never to this magnitude of fully organizing everything myself. Talk about the stress leading up. Talk about when you've been live for a couple months and you go, fuck, we've only sold X amount of tickets. Like, let's bring everyone back to earth a little bit.
Yeah, man, for sure. Again, I won't say numbers, and I also won't say the artist because I don't want to.
Don't do just has there been red? Has there been break even?
Mate, there has been absolute in the hole to the point that no one actually showed up.
Wow.
I had to basically to pay everything. I had to sell my car to do it. I was in absolute,
shit.
in absolute fucking dumps, bro. Like, and to me, I knew it was a risk. It was a Sunday session. For the first time we were doing it, we were doing a Sunday session at Peachy. Let's see what we can do. And I went, you know what? Probably a bit cocky of me at the time. I went, you know what? If we're going to do a Sunday, again, let's do it properly. Put on a decent act.
Yeah.
Like I'll tell you offline, and you'll be like, yeah, shit.
Yeah.
And then when that didn't happen, it got to the point when we rocked up, and I actually messaged the artist or whoever was driving him and was like, turn around.
Bullshit.
And like, unfortunately for me and embarrassingly for me, they were like around the corner.
Oh.
It was probably the darkest day that I had there. Like, again, as you said, man, it's not all like roses and sunshine.
Yeah.
Some days you're sitting there going, fuck, how am I going to pay this?
Yeah.
Like, you've got money once you've built up and you're running it as a business. You've got money in your like war chest. You think of it like that, right? Where on a rainy day you can use it.
Yeah.
But fuck, I spent a lot of money on that Sunday session.
Oh,
And I was like, oh no.
Did they only give you the Sunday, no other option?
No, I asked for it. I wanted to do it.
So that was a full experiment.
So
Got
like
it.
you're like challenge yourself kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. I probably got a bit cocky and a bit too big for my boots there, and went, let's go on alternative style, Sunday session style. And the reason why was I was on holidays and I was just listening to this guy on fucking repeat on SoundCloud or whatever at the time, and I was like, fuck, I want to book him. So I rang up, booked him, and it was like, yeah, let's do a Sunday session because it just fits that Sunday vibes, full blown sunset beers, that kind of thing.
Turns out it doesn't.
Yeah, apparently not. Yeah.
Wow.
I still think it does, but I think everyone else is wrong in that one.
I feel like as long as you have a crack, man, that's all that matters. You're never gonna win them all, but there's nothing to it but to do it. You know what I mean? Like you're never gonna just know by just sitting on the sidelines.
And like you learn from that, man. Imagine if I did a half, like I got a half crowd, and I went, oh, let's go bigger again. Let's see if we can double it, and you lose double your money on it. Fuck, I'm glad I didn't do that. You know?
Yeah. So you'd never do a Sunday again? Never try it again?
I would do a Sunday. I wouldn't drop multiple thousands of dollars on it.
Low key.
I'd probably just get my grandmother up there. Go play some Spotify for me.
Play Keno. You're just playing Keno.
But in saying that, no, we actually have done a couple of Sundays after that as well. Like we did one, and I just flipped the script on it rather than making it about the music. I made it about the Sunday. So we had like beer pong and all that sort of shit on there, and like calm down the local DJs, had them on there. Like we did an Australia Day event as well on a Sunday, I think it was, or whatever public holiday it was. Same sort of thing, like that vibe of just. It's not meant to be about a full dance floor. It's meant to be about just coming out and just chilling out, having a drink, playing beer pong. If you want to dance, get on the dance floor, do what you want. Like, I don't care, you know?
Yeah, fucking hell.
So that's how I changed my mindset around. I was too focused on that artist and that's what's going to bring everything.
Yeah.
When realistically, it was probably too progressive for Penrith, especially at that time. Sydney, like, he'd done multiple Sydney shows and sold them out. That's why I was just convinced.
Yeah, but a Sunday, it's a different story.
Sunday
tough,
session
man.
in Penrith in summer, mate.
Exactly.
It could be a tough day out there.
That's the thing about Penrith, man. I feel like a lot of us out here, the fucking bass heads, we're like fucking rare, and we want to hear the trap. We want to hear the fucking.
Ironically, though, it was a trap artist.
Really?
But not a heavy trap artist.
Interesting.
But even trap on a Sunday, like I wouldn't mind that. But a lot of people, like you said,
Like,
weren't
fuck
as
this,
as accepting or progressive of that.
Yep.
And people just get the Sunday blues, man. I get it too. Sometimes you're like, it's
mate.
Sunday. It's the day before work.
Even that day, bro, I woke up and was like, oh, do I really need to get up and go? I kind of knew what I was walking into because I was looking at the ticket sales going, shit, I hope a lot of people rock up on the door, right?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Like,
insane.
you kind of prep yourself.
So you kind of knew what you were kind of in for when you rocked up.
Yeah, you kind of know roughly what you're in for. Like, I mean, like we still sold something like 100 tickets or whatever, but when you're talking to Peachtree, that's got like a 1,500 capacity. You're like, shit, man. Like, 100 people does not look a lot in that venue. Like,
And now look at Peachtree now. They've transformed it into just a restaurant spot now, straight up.
Exactly.
Like you said, they wanted to steer away from that scene, the new owners.
They wanted to steer away.
I remember there was shit all the time there, man. And I've noticed at Peachy, right? I went to I don't know if there were your shows. I didn't even know you owned Lot 54 until
a lot of people didn't. I kept it secret, bro.
Yeah, but I remember when I'd go to, I don't know, maybe it was a few of your shows, but obviously other shows that were there. Was it only you that were there? Was there Lot 54?
As in running it?
No, anything on Peachy, like those kind of nights, was it just you?
Or did they do other stuff?
Or other events came?
There's no real other events. Any other event they would do was usually internal from Peachy. So their licensee at the time was so switched on with that shit, man. Like she was a legend. She would just bring out whatever artists. Like a random night, she might bring Tiger Lily or Tone Shifters.
Yeah, I remember Tiger Lily being there.
She might be happy to do those kind of nights randomly, but most of the time for just obviously running a business, she would keep it fairly low key, but also didn't have to go out and bring the massive artists because they didn't need to. They would just rock up, and everyone would just rock up because it was Peachy Fridays.
Yeah,
because I still to this day reckon they would.
Yeah,
because I remember going to the bar and the drinks are a certain price at a certain night, right? And then when it gets deeper into the night, I'd go to the bar and because you just tap, I just caught on to the prices. I was on the captain.
So it looks at the bank account, starts at $5 per drink and goes up to 12.
I was at the Captain Morgan's and it started from I don't know $8 or something, and then the next minute I was paying $12. And I was like. And I was drunk as at this point. I was like, is this more expensive than before? And she's like, what? And I was like,
I can't hear.
Oh, what are you talking about?
I'm like, don't worry about it. Whatever. I'm not going to not drink.
That's good, man. Okay, so what about so we've talked about the horror nights where you just kind of took an experiment, went a bit wrong.
Yep.
Was there ever any horror artist stories where the night's gone amazing, but the guy you've booked been a fucking head case? Is this being a bit too, or have you got...
And put him on blast. Go.
Or have you been pretty lucky in that
I booked this guy called Front to Back. He was an absolute douche. No, man, in all honesty, I probably had a lot of really good artists come through. And I guess I don't know. I was pretty picky with who I would book anyway because they were kind of the people that I liked as myself. So it was I basically ran these events because I wanted to go to them.
I
didn't really care what was going on.
That's the best way.
It was kind of like this is what I want to go see. So hey, everyone else is going to want it too. I don't know. Again, you're naive, but eventually after you build up a bit of a reputation as a brand, you kind of can do that.
At least you know you have good taste. You know what I mean? Imagine if you just had shit taste. You know what I mean?
You win there.
That's mad, man.
But man, we had some obviously there's some artists out there that have more demands than others, right? But they're also entitled to do that because they're bigger artists, and you just know that that's coming, and you're just well aware of it.
Yeah.
But even then, man, some of them were just they know that they're asking a lot, but it's actually a need for them. They're doing it for the show. They're not doing it for the sake of I just want to get drunk and have 15 bottles of Smirnoff or something. They don't care about that much. It's more okay, I want the production to be like this. I want 2 CO2 cannons. I want 2 confetti cannons, and it tailors to their specific show. At a certain point of the night when a song's played, you got 2 confetti cannons going bang bang, and it adds to their
They
show.
got a vision.
Yeah, exactly. So there's a reason behind every method of their madness, really.
You can't have a slow R&B singer and then confetti just
Yeah, that's cool, man.
That would actually be so scary. Actually, he's got Usher playing in the background. He's just two massive confetti cannons just going off.
I think Usher will be allowed to in many venues in Australia pretty soon if he gets.
Mate, that whole era of music. I don't know what the fuck's going on with them, mate.
Yeah, I know, right?
They're all fucking dirty cunts. Yeah, they're all fucking dirty cunts.
Johnson & Johnson's going under at the moment.
That is fucking so cool, man. So officially, you're back.
Yeah,
you're returning.
Yeah,
the Elk Bar on High Street used to be the old High Street Social.
It's already happened by the time you listen to this. The Elk Bar show.
Yeah.
So go back again the week.
Yeah.
So if you went, how was it? Tell us. Let us know.
Well, I mean, what did you want to release this?
Oh man,
before the show?
Whenever,
we could do it before. Yeah,
put it out.
We can do
Friday. Yeah, Thursday, Friday, whatever you can. I don't care.
I could fucking
do an early one.
How quickly can you edit it?
A couple of hours, I could get it done.
Yeah, whatever, man. I got no issues. Do it before then. We'll just put it out there.
More marketing for the man.
Let's
go. I won't take away free marketing, man.
This isn't free, bro. What the fuck?
I'm charging you, boys.
This could possibly be our first double week, but we'll see. We'll see how we go with the editing and that, because I do also still work a fucking 9 to 5.
Don't we all?
Fucking, how do you find balancing that though? Was there ever a point where you were kind of thinking like, you know what, I could kind of quit work and just do this?
Bro, there was a point I didn't have a job, and that was 90% of the time.
Oh shit!
I dead set. So when I left school, Went to go get a degree, got like half of that, left there, and then sort of just like, yeah, man, I never did like work at Macca's or any of those fast foods. So I never did that sort of vibe. Never did retail, and so like my first like job was DJing. Like that was like my thing, right? That's how I was making money doing private gigs and stuff. And then when I started the events and started making money through that, I didn't need to have a job. I was earning more than enough to do that. And like for a long time, man, like my family were like, "What the actual fuck is going on right now?"
Yeah, fuck, that is awesome, man.
My brother's sitting there going, "Are you dealing drugs on the side?" I'm like, "No, man, I swear to God,
Probably fucking easier.
oh, mate, it'd be less stress."
Yeah, but like I feel like with that, like it's so weird that you, like that was your first job, because I feel like you need, out of all the jobs that you could have found, it's the one that needs the most piggy bank.
Yeah.
To go, you know what I mean? Like you need
cushion.
You
like
need
a bit
cushion.
of,
You can't just go, "Hey, I have 50 cents to my name." You need to have some money behind you. So
And that's what I mean. I was lucky when my dad gave me that $500, and it was kind of like
500. Even when you said 500, I thought
it was literally to pay the 2 artists, man, and then the production was on me.
Yeah, okay.
Like, and I was lucky enough
because
that we made
500
enough to
doesn't get
cover.
you too far. Like 2 artists, that's
Oh no, that'll get you shit these days, bro. Like you get nothing for that. You get a decent local act for $500.
because how long ago was that? That was ages ago.
2013 or something, bro.
Okay.
Like it was years ago.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, like literally, like I got a favor from him as well. Like I was close mates because I used to work at Chinese Laundry too, and they obviously worked there as well quite often. So they did me a favor, but also in turn, like I mean, again, it swings and roundabouts. I booked A-Tones for like 16 years, or not 6 years, sorry,
6 years.
after that. And I think he's done with it now, but like. Yeah, man, like for all that time throughout like the other venue, then the Peachtree, and then even like other venues after we moved on, I'd booked A-Tones and done a couple of charity events, and he'd done it for free for me for the charity shows like Are You OK and Headspace and things like that. So yeah, man, like it comes swings around and it's all about the network. That's why when you reached out to me, I was like, fuck, what a good cunt.
Dude, as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh my God, but that comes from me though, because I had good experiences. Like I said, Party Thieves, Bear Grylls, even if Tiger Lily wasn't lot 54, but there were the very few times I went to, I'm not going to say I was there every fucking week because I wasn't, but the few times I went, man, we had a fucking pretty cracker night, bro. So that's why as soon as I saw you, like saying you returned, I was like, bro, I want to work with this cunt. Like I want to just work. Let's
well,
fucking...
even the way that you did it, like, because we didn't know each other or anything. Like, you just reached out onto the page. And
I think I sent you a voice message too, so you're probably thinking, who is this cunt? I'm sending like 100 voice messages.
I'm not going to lie, bro. The first thing I did was go and look at your face or your Instagram page. Like, who the fuck is this guy?
Yeah. I just sent heaps of voice messages. I'm like, dude, let's
you know you're an extrovert when you're sending voice memos to a random.
Well, not even a random. It was like at the lot 54 page. It could have been like 15 people on that page.
But hey,
that's the only way you got to. You know,
look, we're here now, aren't we?
We're here now, and that's how you fucking you got to network, man. That's why again, I don't agree with a lot of young people, younger DJs, and that they're not there. There's too much of. Okay, I can DJ. I'm so cool. Like no one gives a fuck. Like you, it's all about the judge of character. How I want to work with people who I can go, bro, this cunt's a mad cunt. This cunt's a good cunt.
Yeah.
Fuck that. Don't worry about the DJing, the shows, the this. Do we get along? Can we have a beer? Can we have a laugh? Are we going to have fun? Even if the event flops, are we going to have a good time there? Fuck, we're going to get drunk. Fucking no. Like that's the shit you got to look for. But I feel like especially a lot of these youngins are coming up, bro, and it's just like, there's a bit too much
entitlement.
Yeah, there's a bit too much entitlement, and I don't really agree with that. But it's hard because we're the old cunts, so to say. So it's kind of like, how do we fucking...
Yeah, but I feel like we know how to have the best fun. We grew up in such a mad time.
I still reckon our kick-ons would be better than half theirs.
We were spoiled for choice. We were spoiled for choice. Like I said, you had Lot 54 local. You had all this shit popping all the time. And then now it's kind of... Like I said, we've done this.
Yeah.
And we're just now trying
On
to
the
get that fucking shit going, man.
Well, also, I don't know why this just jogged my memory or whatever. But if we do release this beforehand, we are actually giving away a limo ride to the peach to the to the Elk Bar. We give away a limo ride to Elk Bar.
That is fucking awesome. Wait, hold on a second. So
I don't know why that just jumped into my head. I was like, I should say that.
So how do these motherfuckers enter this shit?
Well, whenever when do you reckon we can get this out?
I can get this out by Friday night.
All right, we'll do it. Friday night, fuck. It's on Saturday. Well, anyway, they'll find it on Friday night anyway. It'll be out by then. It'll be Thursday, Arvo, something like that.
Yeah.
We're probably just going to put a post up, literally simple as fuck. Put a post up, anyone with a ticket, anyone that likes that post, share, or tags their friends, whatever they do, just get involved, but needs to have a ticket first.
Yeah.
We'll shout them a limo ride from wherever they are to the Elk.
That is fucking cool.
Imagine if they're coming from Penrith. So they're coming from Penrith.
they're coming from Duck Christown.
Some poor cunt from ages away has to get a train, but
That is so fucking
mate,
cool.
Yeah. And no, that's just to give him a bit of a plug. That's from JB Limousine. So
JB Limousine.
He's a good guy, Jared. He's a good guy, Jared. So yeah, mate, shout out to him.
Isn't that funny? We were talking about limousines fucking last week, like on the last episode.
It's just a stretched out car.
That's fucking cool, man. All right, so I'm gonna try get this out. By the way, if you guys are listening, we are fucking dressed up as
Halloween.
it's our Halloween. It's our
Episode
Halloween
130. What is it? 140?
130.
130. Episode 130. Man.
I did have my screen mask on for all of 10 seconds.
I had. Fuck you, Tori Bemrose. She knows I hate
She's
clowns.
such a real one, bro. I was busy as today, right? And I had to get like a USB to come practice a set here beforehand. And I left like clear Joey fashion, right? Leaving shit last minute. DZ goes, "Hey, bro, how'd you go with the costumes?" And I'm like, "Yeah, bro, I'm doing it the Savo." And then I go, "Shit, me thinking I have all the time in the world in my hands. Like I'm a very, very bad time management person when it comes to like last minute things. And I feel like I texted Tori, like, I'm not going to have time for this. I'm like, do you reckon you can go to Ronnie's in Penrith? And I might just pick up 3 head to toe costumes. If we're going to dress up, sometimes we get little like a hat here or there, or a little accessory.
Yeah.
I want to get dressed up.
It's like a pirate or something, bro.
We've done that before.
Yeah,
We've done that.
And then I'm like, and then she's like, yeah, sweet. So she got us all this, she's always down to help out, bro. Like, love that about her.
Yeah, fucking oath. Except getting me
But they need to make a mouthpiece. They need to make a mouthpiece. Ready? You can't even hear me in the mic. Ready? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
We can hear you.
proper?
No, not properly.
You can probably hear me underwater. The amount
Yeah, it sounds underwater. So do we have, I think we got some stories, I think, from Lot 54. I think at least, I know Holloway said he was going to leave some. He had heaps of stories from Lot 54.
Shit, here we go.
Wait, so is this the speak pipe?
Speak pipe, yeah.
Okay.
All right, well, maybe I can confirm or deny some of them. Yeah.
or not comment.
Or not comment, yeah.
Like that.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Let's log in here.
Do I need my lawyer?
Mate, I've got one on Tick. He's my brother, so he's always there.
Oh, really? Nice.
On Tick.
So if anyone wants to try sue me, I'll just hit him up. I'll forward your email.
Yo, fam. It's Callan.
Okay, here we go.
Aussie slang.
Here we go. Aussie slang.
Callan here. I just wanted to say thank you so much for having me on the week before. I really appreciate it. And honest to God, I wish we had more time to talk to each other. I love talking to you guys, and your platform is amazing, and I'm really appreciative to be a part of it all. It's interesting, right? And I wanted to pick your brains, and I think I'm probably going to be doing this a bit more often because I want to know your perspectives, boys. I think you're all very smart young men, and I'm glad I'm your friends as well. But I want to pick your brains on something. So I've been doing a bit more research on the current psychology of many of the current era, the modern era, I guess, where we're at now, right, and where it's all going, which has led me to kind of, back down this rabbit hole of trauma. Now, in going down that rabbit hole, and look, this might be like 1 or 2 speak pipes, by the way, just disclaimer, because I might talk for a little bit. So while I go down that rabbit hole of trauma, it's led me to Dr. Gabor Mate, and I have read some of Dr. Gabor Mate's peer-reviewed literature, and he is a fantastic psychiatrist. Some of his viewpoints, especially around childhood trauma, are immense, right? And as I've been listening to more too, actually, on podcasts as well, and the way he speaks is very soothing. I don't know why, but and if you haven't listened to it or read any of his stuff, I really, really push you boys just to give. I think he had a recent podcast with Theo. I think the comedian's name's Theo. Give that a listen, fam. He's really good, and I'll go into more.
Okay, so for a little context, right? So this is Aussie Slang. He's on our record label. He's a psychologist. That's his job. So, but he was also streaming and stuff. He streams as well and does all that cool shit. Yep. So he's very, he gets. We can get deep. We can get
deep in the weeds.
Right.
Okay, to continue what I was saying before, so as I delve down the rabbit hole of trauma and I'm starting to actually interact a bit more with his literature, Dr. Gabor Mate, I've noticed that, we're in the West is in a current circumstance now where the birth rate's declining. I think that's something that's kind of been talked about a lot recently, especially in the media. that were below replacement rate, right? And interestingly enough, that's something I've noticed. It's as a counselor and a psychotherapist who works with lots of families, like the monetary stress is really getting to people. They're not having as many kids. The only excluding kind of population of people I would probably say who do have lots of kids but suffer monetary because of it is people who have recently immigrated to this country from other countries. And then that led me to, again, a few of Dr. Gabor-Mate's childhood trauma stuff. Stress that's induced from the parents, and they don't mean it, right? And I see this a lot. Stress induced from parents onto kids because of money, because they want them to be this way, because they want them to be a doctor or an engineer to get out of this monetary pit, is one of the things that he believes is actually causing the psychiatric epidemic of mental illness. And he actually apparently touches on this on his recent book, which is, I think I don't know if it's published or not. I think it maybe did publish it. I can't remember. But it's very intriguing.
Okay, interesting. And then he did
And so my question, I guess, well, not really my question. Well, it is a question. My question, I guess, to you guys, right, would be, what are your thoughts on this? I haven't finished any research yet, and hence the reason I've researched this as well is because I do deal with families heaps, and I'm trying to find a way where I can really kind of, navigate that bridge of like, okay, talking to parents about child needs, but their child needs, because I've noticed whenever I talk to parents about it, people get upset because I don't think people want to be that, perspective and perception. People don't want to perceive themselves as bad parents. And I understand that. And it's never like, I always come from a place of like, look, this is just what the psychology says. I'm not saying you're doing this or doing that, but I've had supervisors say to me, you got to be a bit more direct. And I'm a bit scared because like, it's very hard to be direct with some people. So I wanted to pick your brains. Do you guys feel like this is something that is real, I guess, and that stress induced by, economics based off the fact that people aren't having kids because of monetary issues, and that stress is being passed down by the parents and by family systems onto their kids. You got to be this, you got to be that, get us out the middle class, get us out the poor class, whatever's going on. What are your thoughts on that? What are your takes? Have you ever experienced this, I guess? And yeah.
Well, the population decline thing is definitely real. For example, do you have kids?
No.
No kids. I'm the youngest here. I got one kid. So out of all four of us here, there's one kid.
Yeah, true.
You know what I mean?
That is true.
And all your friends. I can't think of one of your friends that has a kid. You got a big friend group.
Yeah.
All same age, no kids.
No.
And in Japan and South Korea especially, they're fucked. Like if they continue the way they're going,
they're going to be extinct.
Yeah, literally.
No, they're
literally.
not fucked. That's the problem. They need to get fucked.
But for them, it's more like I think they take their jobs too seriously over there. Like their work-life balance is non-existent. So they're even like starting to pay foreigners and shit to live there. That's how bad it is. And like, I don't know if I never thought of that the parents are using their kid as a scapegoat to try and make them rich, basically. Like, we can't afford shit. You have to be successful so we can afford to live. I mean, I don't know. All the mental health stuff today is like fucking kind of concerning too.
Yeah.
Are these cunts like actually fucked, or like is everyone just watching too much social media and shit and now they're depressed because they're staying inside, fucking not going outside? You know what I mean? Like, what's...
I reckon social media's got a massive thing to do with it.
It must, right?
You get into doom scroll, you end up 4 hours of your life is gone.
Yeah.
And it's full of just comparing your life, which is sitting on the couch.
Seems to watch the same TikTok dance 50 times and you're going, oh, all right.
And you still watch the whole thing.
Yeah. Look, I'm not one to say I don't do that too, but it is an issue, right?
Yeah. I do feel like that would definitely rub off though, because if your parents, all they care about is money and they're just, or you remember, or it takes them away from like, properly raising the kid and teaching them like, morals, values that they need for, everyday life, and really taking the time to show that kid affection because you're too stressed about money or this and that. Of course, that's going to rub off on your kid, right? Because you can't really like spend all your time being stressed and then successfully raise a kid. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you get stressed, but you need to always try to have time for, and this is speaking to someone that doesn't have a kid, obviously. But I mean, at the end of the day, I feel like if you're going to have a kid, you have no choice but to step up. Otherwise, you're just going to be a deadbeat fucking parent. You know what I mean? But a lot of people I know have, you know what I mean? Like, like Callan said, like no one wants to look in the mirror and have someone go, like a psychologist, be like, you're the reason.
Yeah.
Which, and they probably do know, you know what I mean? Like every parent does have an inkling if they have dropped the ball, but it's about facing that fact, you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. That's fucking. That's good points as always from Aussie slang Beanos.
I have zero trauma. I mean, we always get. I always get like trapped in a D&M's net at like a kick-ons or whatever, where people are like,
You cast a net, but
I'll probably cast it. I'll probably drop the, and then I'm just like fish. Like you drop fish food in there, and it's just
You're
like,
my victim today. You're like DNMing with this cup for 7 hours.
They're like, so what about you? And I was like, oh, I mean, my family is pretty good.
I was laughing at a couple episodes back when you were talking about how you said something like, I don't like a D&M at the party, and you're like, yes, you do. And then when you said that, it was funny because I was remember one of the videos we posted from the night, you could see the crowd, everyone's dancing and shit, and then it pans and Joey's talking.
Yes.
Joey's talking in someone's ear in the video.
Sometimes it's not D&M, it's just bullshit.
Yeah.
Like there's a difference between like there's D&Ms, but then there's the D&Ms where like you're being a burden. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
You're holding them hostage, bro.
Have you ever like spoken to someone and they're in you, they're hanging off you, and you're like, bro, like I don't know, what do you reckon my dad did? And then you're like, and don't get me wrong, you're like, okay, I'm here for you, but like then you're trying to like dance. I'm more like, but I'm just annoying motherfucker. Like, but I do love a good D&M, but I'm in and out. I dip, I get the info, and I'm like, what's happening? Oh, that's upsetting, and then boom.
That's upsetting.
There's been many a times where you can just see it from a mile away when someone's just talking someone's ear off. You don't even know what it is, but you can just look at the other person's face and just blank. And you're like,
it's worse than the person copying it is sober, the other guy's not.
Yeah.
When you're not sober, you're a bit more tolerable because you're like, okay, you're a bit more lovey. But if someone's like hanging off you and you've had 2 drinks and you're like, bro, you've said the same thing 3 times in 10 minutes.
I still love you, but we'll talk tomorrow.
Yeah.
So we've got no Holloway 54 stories there, which I'm spewing about.
He used to always go to lot 54.
Yeah, he'd have.
I wish I could share some of the ones that I could tell, but I don't think they're too friendly.
Not PG.
Well, one of the comments on one of the posts I put up was my mate Zach, who used to be, still is part of Hijackers, and straight away he's like, I don't think we could say any of it, hey? And straight away, like one of our other good friends, Christian, who runs Milky Lane and used to be part of another event that we were with, he was just like, yeah, 100%. Do not say a thing.
That's fucking
Well,
gold.
do you two have any stories from lot 54 you remember?
I can't say.
Even just going out in Penrith, man. Like,
I can't say.
My only memory is Peachy, but I wasn't very in tune with like where the latest events were, and like I always heard about it. But I think Peachy would have been the only place I've seen lot 54 at. Just because, like I wasn't like, I was more of a floater from group to group. So I would just constantly go out with other people, but like it would be Chinese laundry a few times. But I don't know, like I said,
laundry was a place for it.
Oh, man.
Yeah?
I lived it.
I loved it.
there.
So who knows? Maybe I did, because I wasn't really aware that like, oh, it's lot 54. I was that person to just go out, like, hey, you want to go out Saturday? And then I'd see a DJ and I'm like, I wouldn't even know it's a specific event. Yeah. I'd just be like, oh, I'm at Chinese laundry, there's DJs here. Yeah. Like,
man, every time I was at lot 54, I had one eye this way and one eye that way. And I was fucking
on stage.
drunk as fuck. Every time we used to get so buckled at lot 50. It was just, I don't know what it was about lot 54. I think it's because we were so close to home. We would just go fucking hard on the drinks and shit. It was fucking.
There used to be a bit of a running joke because I like a lot of the time I don't have a drink all the time. I'd probably be one of the drunkest people there, to be honest. With you. But like when I really wanted to have a crack, I'd actually get like a friend of mine or just hire someone to run the event for me that night. So like literally, I'd be like to the venue's management or whatever. I'd be like, this person is me. Yeah. I'm going to be around here somewhere.
Just so you can fucking drink and shit. That's fucking
And like,
bad.
I'd just be absolutely maggot in the corner somewhere. And I'd be like, do not come to me for any like operational shit. Go to them.
I like that.
And then if it's like life or death and I have to know about it.
Sorry, boys.
If it's life or death and I have to know about it, they can come to me and babysit me through an answer. I'd basically look back at them with a blank stare like, I don't know, what do we do?
Your mate's got your fucking strings like just fucking talking to this cunt.
Oh, mate. There's some times though after that. There's one photo. I'll see if I can find it. I'll show you after. But I think I was at the Mercure at Panthers, that hotel to the side.
Yeah.
And I'm like just sitting. I think it was my birthday, one of my birthday weekends, which is also coming, just happened. So this is the birthday weekend event that I'm doing. And mate, I was sitting there in a party hat, worse than that one. I'm sitting there in a party hat and I've just got like this face that is just absolutely hammered.
You're gone,
I am not in a well state at all. And that was one of the best nights I've ever had.
Fuck it, oh.
Like, I don't know. I actually think it was Scandal's hotel room too. Actually, going back to it.
That's fucking dope. Let the people know one more time what's happening this weekend.
Plug your socials.
Plug the socials. Where can we find you? I'm going to have all the links in the socials as well of this episode, but let the people know, man, one more time.
So Elk Bar Saturday, 8 o'clock kickoff. Yep. At the moment, you can buy tickets online at Humanitix. You can find that link on either the event page on Facebook or on the Instagram link page thing, or just somewhere in the stories. Have a look for it. Take some initiative. It's $15 at the moment. So cheap as shit, and you're gonna have a crack at night, man.
I already seen your first your early birds already, or whatever.
Early birds are sold out.
Yeah,
they're done and dusted. So it's just general admission now.
Yes.
So $15, and you're gonna have a crack at night.
And you might score a limo.
Yeah, you might score a limo.
Even if you're up the road.
Fucking hell.
We'll take you for a trip around Penrith and you just up the road.
Don't drive me, I'll just keep driving me around. Fucking Macca's drive through.
We'll make sure to go past Panthers. We'll show the sights. We'll go.
Fucking hell. Well, man, thank you so
Appreciate
much.
you boys having me on.
Sir. It's been a blast.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate you.
Thanks, brother.
And
good to see you again.
Keep your ears and eyes peeled, guys. This is not going to be the last time you see us together.
Big things. Big things.
We got some stuff happening, man. So thank you as always.
Big dick energy.
See you, boys.
Chop, we are back. Boys, what do we got now?
Reddit corner.
We got the Reddit corner, man. Do I sound muffled in this?
A little bit. It's
Yeah.
not bad though. It looks funny as with the headphones.
I gotta do the Reddit. I gotta do the Reddit corner.
Leave it
See
on.
if you can survive.
Leave it on.
Ready? Fucking hell.
Welcome to the Reddit corner.
All right. Where the fuck's my hat? Fuck it.
By the way, my new song is out just quickly. Feel Myself, produced by Holloway.
Yes, sir.
A lot of good feedback, so thank you.
Yep.
Also, side note, funny, Reverie actually has got play on Triple J. So they've actually spun the song, which is cool.
After all the shit we spoke last week.
People left reviews on it too on the Triple J website.
Really?
A couple of reviews, yeah, good stuff. Like I only found out the other day. I went on and then they give you a little badge and it says played on Triple J. And I'm like, what the fuck? And it's got reviews. I was like,
Wow, that's sick.
yeah, some guy said, I clicked on this because I thought it was DZ Def Rays under their old name, but I'm pleasantly surprised. It's got good flow, real talent here. And then some other guy said something similar. So, yeah, thank you.
Isn't it good when randoms especially
I know.
like
Oh,
give you props like that?
Yeah.
It's very,
I rang this motherfucker up when I heard about it. I can't do this masking. I'm sorry. I could never be a serial killer. If I did, I'd have to show my face fully. You know what I mean? Or just make it like Batman. Have like just
the mouth.
just the mouth open. You know what I mean? Jesus. Yeah. What was I saying? That must almost kill me. Yeah, so no, I rang this guy as soon as I seen the song come up, because every time he drops a song, it's on my Spotify, right? Like this has come out. And I'm like, what do we have here? And I listened to it twice in a row, and the second time I called this motherfucker and I was like, you fuckwit. He's like, what? I'm like, you fucking done it again, you fuck. He's like, why? He goes, oh, thanks, bro. Like, we'll give him props, bro. I love, and then, like I said, picking up the bars, bro, is just, it's just coming more naturally to me now. You're pretty clear with your shit. So it's like, and the production was good. Like,
Thank you, sir.
So,
and then Iggy's got some new shit coming out soon as well.
Yeah. Album.
this Friday, the album drops. Dubstep, drum and bass. I'm going to be playing a lot of the stuff. Well, not a lot. A couple songs next week at the Synergy show. Get your tickets. You got Lot 54 this weekend. You've got Synergy next weekend. So you got some back-to-back things to go to. We still got a handful of tickets left. The last tickets are being stubborn, but no doubt they're going to go the morning of. No doubt. That's always the fucking
always
way.
do.
It's always the way, which is not what I want to fucking happen, because, like I said 100 fucking times, I love fucking repeating myself on this fucking show. I love it. It's my favorite thing to do. I love hearing the sound of my own voice. That's why I say the things I say. But I did not want this to happen, because then the morning of, everyone's going, oh, hey, man, where's the bus, bro? What's the price for the bus? Like, I don't want that, because we got to get to sound check.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. We mentally prepared for this. I'm just going to complain about it. So, DZ, you chose the Reddit corner this week. Mm-hmm. What are we doing?
We're doing tattoo client stories.
Okay.
We all got them. I used to watch these videos on YouTube where they'd have the tattoo artists and they'd interview them and they'd tell their worst client stories. And the stories tattoo artists would get, like even just local tattoo artists, like you get some fucking weird cunts going to get tattoos, man. So I figured there has to be a lot on Reddit, surely. I found a couple good ones. So yeah, I guess I'll kick it off.
Kick it off.
Yeah.
Kick us off.
I think I got 3 of them. I got 3 decent stories here. Someone says, okay. Was working on top floor of tattoo studio, tattooing a bloke early one Saturday morning. He goes pale and says he needs to pee quickly. I point him in the direction of the bathroom. 10 minutes later, I get worried he has passed out on the toilet. It happens. I go walk downstairs, notice a super gross stench, look down at the stairs and see tiny little piles of diarrhea on each step.
Oh, he shit himself.
Guy had shit himself on the way to the toilet and ran away. Never saw him or his money again.
So he didn't finish the tattoo.
Did he not finish the tattoo?
I guess not.
Oh my God.
You're blowing that smoke in my mouth, motherfucker.
That's crazy, bro. Imagine that. You wouldn't want to come back, man.
Yeah, nah.
This guy's got a half-finished tattoo, and he'll go into the next guy and be like, hey, I need my tattoo done. Someone else done it, but I shit myself. I didn't want to return.
How do you... I've never even come close to shitting myself or passing out. Or it's not that bad.
Did I tell you?
I'll say something. This is only just coming out now to public knowledge. I almost shit myself at the Knox Bar show.
Oh, really?
I swear to God. And I'm telling you, if I did, I wouldn't have performed. I would have gone. I'd be like, bro, I can't do this. Someone else would have just
Why
played
do you
the song.
almost shit yourself?
Well, because I was just hanging out, and then it was maybe about 20 minutes before we had to perform, and then all of a sudden, I don't know if it was like just stage nerves or something, I just went, oh, I got to poo, and I was like, oh no, I got to poo, and I start running, and I messaged Chloe, I'm like, dude, and she's like, you're going to be on soon, and I've sprinted, and as you pull your pants down, it was coming out.
What the fuck?
Yeah. That's only just become public knowledge. So sorry, Megalodon, if I randomly disappeared that night, that was the reason.
You're shitting yourself.
But I made it.
Did I tell you about the story when I was doing a Saturday shift? I swear I did. I was doing a Saturday shift a while ago now, like 5 months ago or more. And it was a Saturday shift, early morning, didn't have any brekkie. I had me and the apprentice, and I had a double shot mocha. I always have a double shot coffee mocha in the morning.
Yeah, you need double shot.
But I had that on an empty stomach this morning, right? This certain morning. And I was like, all right, after I had the coffee, I was setting up the tools and stuff. And I'm like, oh, got to go bathroom. I go, hey, I said to the apprentice, I said, can you just get set up, do this, and I'll be back soon, right? I go to the bathroom, and a builder sees me and goes, Joey, I need you to just come in for a second. I want to take a look at something. I'm like, okay, sweet. Just hold it in. Just like, continued on my merry way, helped him out a bit, was talking shit to him about the job, whatever. It went away a bit. But then all of a sudden I remembered like, oh, I was supposed to go to the toilet like 10 minutes ago, right? Ended up breaking free from the builders. And do you know how your body just knows when you get closer to the toilet?
Yes.
It just knows, and it's like it's sitting below your belly button. It's like,
yeah.
And I'm just like, holy shit. So I literally run into the disabled bathroom because I like going to the disabled because it's a bit more room, and like, I just like to assume that it's a bit cleaner. You know what I mean? Even though most of the time it's not. I get in this disabled cubicle, close the door behind me, and now this point I'm busting. I'm making sounds like, ooh, like this, right? And all of a sudden I turn around, the whole toilet lid has been kicked off onto the ground, right? And I'm like, I don't even have time to go to a new cubicle. So I quickly get a bit of toilet paper, grab the toilet seat with the toilet paper and flip it around and put it back on. It's got all shit around the toilet bowl on the toilet lid. So someone's kicked it off because someone's shat all over it, right?
Yeah.
So I've gone almost vomited, right? And I'm like, oh shit. So I go back and go across the way to the other cubicle. And by this time, I like to wipe the seat down and make sure it's clean. So I'm clenching, right? And I'm cleaning the new toilet seat. I'm like, I turn around and I'm like, I go, right? I'm like, oh, thank God. And I'm like, you know how you crouch, you put your knees on your elbows on your knees, and you're just kind of looking down. I look down in my undies in my pants, and you know how when they have the Nutella filled donuts, but at the very top it's got the little nug. I just seen that like a little swirl, like it's like the poo had hit my undies and then went like this, and what I didn't realize is because it hit my undies and kind of did a U-turn a bit on my ass cheek, I didn't realize that when I went to wipe my ass, the shit had actually gone on my ass cheek. So when I wiped my ass like this, the palm of my hand had poo on it. So I got on the toilet paper, but then I went, so now I don't have to sacrifice my undies now. I have to cut off my hand because I'm like this, boom, and I'm like, oh. I'm like, and I've got my step ones. I've thrown them in the bin, right? And I'm like, the basin is close to me, so I'm leaning forward while I'm on the toilet, washing my hands, right, with soap and this and that.
Oh my god!
And I had to give it the smell test after I washed it thoroughly. I was like,
it's still shit.
It's still shit, right? And I'm like, fucking hell. And so I just washed it like 7 times. I'm in there for like 15 minutes, and the apprentice had to call me, and he's like, "What happened?" I was like, "I shit myself." He's like, "What?" And I had to end up throwing those undies.
So you were free balling the rest of the day.
Free balling the rest of the day. So when and it was a hot day, so my nuts were getting caught on my thighs, and yeah,
Bro, that's a wild story.
You actually shit yourself.
Oh, and another shit story. Did I tell you the other week I had to go to the hospital at night?
No.
Yes, story time. Okay, so this was about 4 weeks ago, mate.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe 3. I wake up at 11:15 p.m. in bed with excruciating gut pain. I'm talking. I was like, oh shit. Okay. I go to the bathroom. Didn't wake Tori up. Right. Didn't want to intrude. So I've tiptoed to the bathroom. I'm sitting there with my phone light on because I didn't want to turn the bathroom light on. Right. My phone light's on. It's very dim. I'm sitting there and I'm just getting these stomach pains. Like my guts, my intestines are twisting. Right. And it was almost like, obviously, I've never had contractions, nor will I ever. But I feel like they were coming in. Do you know how contractions, they're said to be like moments apart? Yeah. This gut-wrenching feeling would happen on, and then ease off for about a minute or two. And then boom, it hit again. And it wasn't that I need a shit feeling. It was just like pain, right?
Yeah.
And I start going, and mind you, Tori and her mum are both sleeping, right? Yeah. Tori's mum sleeps with an industrial fan on that can wake up a fucking dead person, right? It's just like, so she doesn't hear anything. But I'm going like this, and this loud as well. I started going, and I'm like, it's bad, right? And it's bad when I'm on the balls of my feet and my feet are inward, right? And my knee, I'm like literally holding my gut. Next minute, Tori, I'm like, I call Tori, and I'm like, I call Tori, right? She's in bed, and she picks up, and she's like, sees my number come up, like Joey. She looks next to her. I'm not in bed, and she's like,
what the fuck? Yeah.
Where are you? And I'm like, I'm in the bathroom. I'm like, come, I need help. I feel like I'm dying, right? I'm literally waking this woman up and like
waking this bitch up
at like midnight, right? Yeah. And I'm like, and she comes in and I'm butt naked on the toilet, and I haven't shit yet, nothing. And she's rubbing my back, going, "What a real one, eh? Like, what a fucking real one, right?" And I'm being dramatic. I was like, it was really painful, right? And I go, you know what? Fuck this. I want to go to the hospital. Like, I can't deal with another fucking contraction like feeling, right? And then we ended up driving 6 minutes down the road to Nepean Hospital, right? We get out, go to walk over to the ER. I projectile vomit all over the crossing that leads into because of the pain. The pain was so bad. I was pale. Tori said I was pale. I couldn't stand up straight. If I stood up straight, I'd feel restricted around there and it'd pull on it.
Oh, my God.
So
what was it?
Let me tell you. And I was like, and then next minute I was vomiting on the side, on the crossing. This guy, I'm hunched over on all fours, right? I'm hunched over like this, and then this guy's like, "Oh, is he okay?" And then Tori's like, "I didn't even care what I look like. You know, you're that sick. You're like, I don't care who sees me." And then she's like, "Oh, he's fine. Anyway, wipe my mouth, whatever. I go in there, I check in, sit down for about 2 minutes, and I'm like, "Oh, I think I need to go to the toilet," right? So I went to the emergency room toilets they had there, did an explosive diarrhea, right? And then about 30 seconds after it commenced, right? I had to chop it in half because Tori is sending me texts going, "The triage nurse is calling your name. You need to hurry up. You need to get out of here. Are you okay? What's going on?" She starts sending question marks. I have to chop this thing in half. I'm wiping for ages because I had to chop it in half. And then I end up getting out there, see the triage nurse, and then tell him my symptoms, go and sit back down, right? We're looking around. There's people. You know how you go to ER and you can walk into an ER room if you want to feel good about yourself. Take a look around at all the fucked up people that are in the ER.
It's like an apocalypse.
Yeah, right? Yeah. And there's people that are sleeping on the benches. They've been there for ages, right? Yeah. This is midnight at this point. And then she goes, "Babe, like, you do realize that these things could take hours. Like, you probably would have to miss work tomorrow. You're probably not going to get seen till in the morning. How are you feeling? Like, are you feeling a bit better?" And I was like, you know what? I haven't had one of those feelings in a while, those like gut feelings. And I was like, you know what? I'll check myself out. So I go up to the triage nurse and I was like, "Hey, do you reckon you could just take my name off the list?" She's like, "Are you sure?" I was like, "Yeah, I feel better now." And she's like, "Oh, okay. Like, come back if you need any assistance." I'm like, "Okay, sweet." We go back home. At this point, we've been gone for only like half an hour, right? I get back, finish my explosive ass shit, right? And then when I hop back into bed, Tori has a the cutie has like a hot pillow waiting for me to put on my stomach. So I go to sleep and I was like, oh, thanks. I go to sleep. I was still going to work tomorrow. And then as we're like trying to fall asleep in the dark, Tori's like, did you really just take us to the hospital to shit? And so the next day when we drove past the hospital, I was like, Tori, do you want to go shit at the ER? Or like,
So, but what
I just needed to shit.
That's
There
crazy.
is no
dude.
way.
Yeah, well, I feel like I still maintain to this day.
And the vomiting? Like,
Yeah, the vomiting, like, I don't know what that was because
a bug or
if
something.
that was, but we ate the same thing for dinner. So that, because I thought it was the food. She goes, I ate what you ate. And I'm like, bro, I've never had, if that's shit pains, I don't want to shit ever again. Because there's shit pains and then there's like, there's normal shitting feelings where you're like, okay, I need to go. But then there's like, ow, this hurts.
So you're just wasting everyone's time. There's guys dying at the ER and you just, I've got a fat shit.
Yeah. Like there's people, like there's people there, and it's so funny. People look at me sideways when I check myself out.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I'd only been there for like 15 minutes in the
My
ER.
God, man.
And then it was so funny, man. Like,
My God.
that is a wild story, bro.
So you've tripped yourself out from the pain and vomited.
well, because okay, I do get a bit panicky. Like if I start to feel something
you
coming
definitely
on,
panic.
I'm very dramatic. But then my mental was, if this is going to keep happening, right, I want to nip it in the bud and get on some morphine or something now, because imagine if it didn't stop. But then if I waited half an hour, I just would have shat my brains out.
Bro, that's crazy.
But, right, that poo was emergency room toilet worthy. Like it was definitely emergency. It was like,
You've left it all over the walls and shit,
Oh,
and you've
yeah.
checked yourself out like,
yeah.
thanks.
Did some finger painting.
But continuing Reddit, I've got one where it says, this is super simple. I heard a story of a guy getting a bee tattoo on his dick. His girlfriend had a beehive.
That's so good.
I can't believe how it sounds pretty common for people to get tattoos on their cock, man.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
I saw a lot of them.
Yeah.
Like looking for stories.
well, yeah. So my other one is, I'm an apprentice. A girl came in once wanting to get a starfish tattooed on her asshole. We spent over an hour and a half convincing her to get anything else. But honestly, white girls are the worst.
Yeah, I mean, who's going to see that though? Chocolate starfish though, when she poos, every time she poos, that shit's coming directly out of the starfish.
My God.
Do you got any more?
Yeah, I got a couple. What do you got?
My boyfriend is a tattoo artist, and one returning customer came in for an infinity symbol made of infinity symbols. But very original. But one of my favorite stories is actually from the owner of the tattoo shop. A guy came in asking for an American history X type swastika tattoo on his chest. The artist agreed to do it, but before he would tattoo it on him permanently, he made a deal with the guy. He told him that he would draw it on him in Sharpie and he would have to walk down the street shirtless in order to get the work done. Turns out he never did the tattoo. At what point are you getting that swastika and you're like, maybe I shouldn't have?
Yeah, what the fuck?
I mean, yeah. Why? If that was enough to change his mind, like, anyway. A friend of mine worked in a tattoo shop, but he was a piercing guy. A couple came in one afternoon and she wanted the hood, actual part of her vagina pierced instead of the clit. Nothing unusual about this except that my buddy said they must have just finished having sex in the parking lot and homeboy finished all up in there. As soon as she got in the chair, it started to ooze out and got on their chair. They were not so kindly asked to never return.
Yuck.
That's
cunt.
fucked up.
That
bro.
was definitely a dare.
Maybe maybe they were trying to use the cum for ink.
Yeah, that's
Bro,
disgusting.
maybe they're just fucking hillbilly rednecks, bro, and they're just fucking trash.
Yeah, it's a bit of semen. Y'all never seen a bit of semen before?
Yuck. My one is, I'm not a tattoo artist, but my brother is one. He was about 6 months into his apprenticeship, and he rings me about this weird story. It's about 2 hours before the shop is supposed to close, and some unkept man comes in. You know, basically, he looks like a skinny guy from Breaking Bad, one of the drug addicts. He wants a shitty tribal tattoo. My brother tried to tell him he will not enjoy a tribal tattoo in a few years, but he's adamant about it. Anyways, he starts to put the stencil on him, and everything is fine. Goes back to get the paperwork ready. He has to sign the agreement saying he isn't under the influence of any drugs or drinking. That all gets done. He started on the tattoo after the stencil dries up for a bit. The dude is doing fine, but after about 15 minutes in, he passes out. My brother turns his arm over to look at his wrist, track marks. The dude is a massive junkie. The shop was known for junkies wanting tattoos, but they never really mentioned that to my brother. Now my brother's an apprentice who is calling 911 to stop this guy from overdosing on his bench, and they had to give him Narcan to revive him while they waited for the cops to get there.
Did he continue the tattoo while he was out?
Yeah, while he's
Nah.
out. Yeah, won't hurt us, man.
I feel like that's the best time to get it done. When
What
he's
are they? Narcan is what they give the heroin addicts when they OD, I think, isn't it? And it wakes
Yeah.
them up and shit.
Yeah.
So the cunt was off his guts on heroin, and he's caught in.
talk about above your pay grade, right?
Yeah, all right. Fuck that. What do you got?
Not a tattoo artist, but a tattoo artist stopped one of my friends from getting Bon Appetit above her female area in high school. He basically gave her a long lecture on how much of a terrible idea it was.
Who comes up with
Appetit.
this shit? My God. I got one more that I've saved. Not a tattoo artist, just heavily tattooed. One of the artists in the studio I go to told me how she accidentally became the furry tattoo artist for the city. Had a client come in that wanted a depiction of their persona done on their back. That was fine and dandy. It's just a cartoon drawing. What happened after that is apparently that person posted it in a local furry group that she was such a great artist, and she got flooded with requests from them. As soon as some of them pushed the boundaries of what she was willing to do. Some guy wants diaper for life tattooed on his chest. Fine, it's just words. Next guy wants his fursuit tattooed over his entire body, as in he wants all the ink to look like he's permanently wearing his fursuit. She's had to kick a few diaper furs out because they would come in with their diaper on and just reek. She keeps doing the work because they pay, but at the height, it got to the point that more of her clients were furries than not. So I guess pro tip, if you're a creator artist, unless you want to always be making furry stuff, never start. Furries are fucking the diaper thing. Like,
Are they
how do
actually
you get
shitting-
into that? I don't. They must be, because he was saying they reek, right? So these cunts are fucking walking around in diapers and furry costumes.
Do you know how
shitting
uncomfortable it's going to
themselves.
be for shit to lube up your ass cheeks when you walk?
Why? What's with the
Like,
diaper thing? Why?
Imagine spreading your crack after a hard day, right, of being a furry, and you haven't changed your diaper, right?
It's just,
You haven't changed your diaper.
and-
You're
and
40
you're-
fucking years old. You're wearing
and-
a diaper.
And you're spreading those cheeks, and the crusty formations just pull on those ass
Oh my
hairs.
God, man.
That's crazy, man.
can we dress up as furries one episode? I've been wanting to do that for ages.
Oh, I'm sure we'll do it one time. Like,
How funny would it be? We got like
We
tables
like
and
it. We just never take them off.
we become furry.
shit. I've got one more. I was getting a tattoo once, and a guy came in. He came up to my artist and asked if he could get a tattoo near his dick. The artist kind of cocked his head and said, "What?" The dude
Cocked his head.
The dude pulls his underwear down and showed a line of shaved hair, which was about the width of a typical razor, all the way to his shaft, and said, "I want a dude with a lawnmower there." The artist told him to fuck off.
Fucking hell. It's one of those things where I don't know if that guy's single or whatever, but imagine the girls that go down on him in the future and they just see.
This is the perfect.
Guy with a lawnmower. Fuck, that's funny.
I got one more. Not a tattoo artist, but very crazy tattoo related story about my two friends in Cancun on spring break a few years ago. They went to a tattoo parlor, very drunk, and one got a tattoo of our college's logo on his upper thigh. When they got asked to pay, the guy upped the bill from $50 to $300. They disputed and got a knife pulled out on them. They tried to run, but one didn't make it out, so the other had to go back for him. They held on to the guy who didn't make it out at knife point and escorted the other to multiple ATMs around the area and made him withdraw cash until his card was declined. Solid tattoo, though. Bro.
That's fucking Cancun, man.
Overseas, bro. If that happens overseas, you got no choice but to just
Yeah, what are you going to do?
give up your godly possessions, give up your money.
I reckon they were all true.
I think they're all true, man. Fuck, that was a nice even one. We all had 3 stories.
Yeah, if you guys have any
Tattoo stories, let us know. Everyone's got
stories.
tattoos these days.
I think my next tattoo would eventually. I won't get another tattoo in Australia. It'll be definitely Bali. But Tori reckons I might grow out of this one. But what are your thoughts? Ready? Because I like the whole theme of like I was hooked on like House of Dragon and shit, right? And it's not an actual House of Dragon like tattoo, but it's House of Dragon inspired, right? but I want it on my back, like something that looks a bit like Vermithor, like hectic head on it. Yeah, so like my shoulders are up here, right? Upper back. And then the head, it's a close-up of the dragon, like close up the head. So the upper shoulders and the back is the top of the head. And then the nose goes down to like my lower back kind of thing. But in front of that dragon is like one of the dragon riders, like a warrior or something. But all you see is the back of him. And he's got long hair or something, got like a knife holstered, like sheathed. And he's doing this in front of the dragon. But he's like taming the dragon.
Bro, that's pretty cool.
Do you know what I mean? And in my head, I have it. I don't know how it looks, but I don't know why. I just think that's so cool, right?
In your head, yeah.
And then Tori's like, I don't know. She's like, sit on that one. Because like anything, you don't want to be like, hey, remember that show I used to watch and this and that? I got a big dragon head on the back of me.
Yeah.
But I've seen kind of inspiration. It looks kind of cool, but it's like one of those things where you do have to sit on the idea for a bit.
Yeah, I don't sit on any of my ideas, bro. When I decided to do this, I'll do this. I recently got my latest tattoos. I got the Uruguayan sun here. Like,
really?
Under my pecs, yeah. Like it's like this.
Oh, fuck that.
Bro, I had that idea the day before. Or like I tried to book it. I had the idea. I go, you know what? I'm going to get something here. She's like, are you sure you want to do that? I'm like,
You sure?
I originally wanted to do like Rey Mysterio, get a word across my fucking navel here. And she doesn't like that at all, but I still kind of want to do it. But I was like, fuck, I want to get a tattoo, man. I was like, So I want like a cross shape here. I'm like, And then I was thinking, I'm like, wait, Uruguayan? I looked at the shape of the sun. I was like, it's got the points, the 4 points there. I was like, yeah, that'll work. I went, booked it next day.
Did that hurt?
It was one of the more painful ones, but it's still, I'm very good. Like, my pain tolerance must be pretty high because people, even the tattoo artist is like, it's going to fucking hurt. It's going to hurt. You ready? You ready? Start doing it. He's like, I'm like, yeah, it's good. It's good. He's like, you're right. He's like, fuck, you're sitting pretty well. I'm like,
just fucking do it.
It was more painful, but it was fairly quick too. Like,
Yeah, see, we're other end of the spectrum, my friend. I'm the biggest fucking wimp. I had to...
You went to the hospital for a shit.
If anything, that's all it takes.
Definitely the opposite end of the fucking...
you went to the hospital for a shit.
And even when I got my leg done, I was on tremadols like crazy. I was like doubling tremadols every 4 hours.
See, but that's a huge leg piece too. Like, the longer you sit
you
there...
get big tattoos, man.
Yeah.
When I did the Bowser head here on my chest, the first like 2 hours, 3 hours were fucking the easiest ever. Like it hurt the least. But then after that point, it was most painful. It was
and they
killing.
go over certain bits as well.
It's all red and raw. That's
and at the end, if they're putting a bit of white in there to touch it to make it pop, that's the worst. You see big, like full roided up cunts going to Bali, and they're screaming because of their back. Like they're doing their back, and they're like these big boys, and they're like,
I think fucking
my pain tolerance is shit. So shit, I have to do a shit in the hospital.
Fucking hell.
Are you gonna get more tattoos?
Yeah. So I'm definitely gonna get more tattoos, but I've changed now from doing the full sleeve because the pain is that bad. I want to get stencil sleeves now, and I feel like stencil sleeves suit like skinny cunts. Because I'm skinny, I want to get my whole body covered, but not like
not covered.
Not how Joey has full. I want to go just
little pieces,
little stencils and shit. I reckon it suits skinny dudes. So
and I reckon you suit like sticker art kind of vibes.
just like random shit. Just like so I want to get that. I originally wanted shit like you, but now the more I think of it, bro, I don't think I can handle that pain.
My boss has that. He's skinny dude too. Yeah, covered and tattooed like that. I think
like
that.
Just random shit. I think it looks cool.
And the skinnier you are, the less ink.
And it's
exactly nice and quick.
Yeah,
it's good too because if you've got a lot of ideas and like you like a lot of pop culture and different things, you just dedicate.
Slap them on.
Random
slap
shit,
them on.
I'm gonna get a synergy tattoo on my asshole.
Only believe what we say. Bring you to another week of your news. Quite a bit has happened.
It's always quite a bit every week.
There it
I
is.
will start us off. Did you see the robots?
Yeah,
is that what you're going to talk about?
Yes.
11.
We've all got that down, right? Obviously, I knew we'd all have that down. So Elon Musk, dude, this is looking more and more like iRobot by the day.
Can I, because everyone's misled, right? The robots at the actual event that were walking around and talking to people were controlled by humans. They were controlled by, and that's why the voices, you can even hear in a lot of the videos, they actually stumble and stutter over words and shit, and it was way too quick. Because it's a human fucking doing the voice and shit.
Yeah, okay.
Now, the movements, I don't know if the movements were remote control, but Like I think people were saying the ones making the bar robots were real and they were a bit slower.
Yeah, because they were going like.
But the ones walking around talking to people are controlled by a human. And Tesla, like, I know there's a lot of videos on it, and you can see people asking them, and they're kind of giving these weird answers, and they're stumbling over their words and shit. But yeah, definitely human. A lot of people, it's a bit misleading. Like I feel like.
Yeah, so what was the point of that then?
Well, it was to show off the driverless taxi. That was the main thing. The event was for the driverless taxi. Which did you see it?
Yeah.
So that was. What
I didn't see that.
So they were unveiling this taxi. It's the cyber cab. So it's a taxi, no steering wheel, no
driver,
no pedals, no driver. So they let people hop in them. It's 2-seater, and it's got a big screen in the middle there, and pick your destination, and the taxi drove them to like it within the area, like like all pre. But that's what they're saying in the future. Elon Musk reckons he can get the price down to under $30,000, and he'll have them in production by 2026. He reckons, which Elon Musk always does this, and he over fucking promises all the time.
Yeah, undershoots.
The odds of this happening are fucking 1,000,000 to 1 that it'll actually be before 2026, and for that cheap. But pretty impressive. I mean, a lot of people are worried too. Like, what if you see an accident? Like, is there a human override? Which at the moment they're saying there's no, like the plan is to have no override. So you're just locked in. There's no doors. You can't even open the door yourself. It's all fucking automated.
Too much room for something to go wrong,
So it looks cool though. It looks cool. Like you can watch movies on the screen and shit.
So they're not releasing these Android bots?
They are. The bots are supposed to be, again, like $30,000, $20,000.
Yeah, 20,000, yeah. And they're going to do, like, their main thing is obviously just household chores.
Walking the dog, cleaning the dishes, which is fucking awesome. Imagine you had a robot to fold your clothes.
What would be the number one chore where you're like, hey, what would you call your bot as well? Do they come with a name, or can you just name it?
Well, they're called Optimus, but I imagine
Optimus?
you can call it whatever you want.
Whatever you want.
Hey, boy.
Hey, Optimus, what's the one chore that you're definitely getting him to do first? Like the one chore that you can't stand that you do now, where you're like, I fucking hate this chore.
Picking up the dog shit.
Oh, yeah, that'd be the worst.
Hate that chore.
True.
Hate it. But you got to do it every day, because otherwise you leave it for 2 days, you got a fucking
Pile of dog
a
shit.
petting zoo in the fucking yard.
Yeah. The thing is, how's the robot supposed to handle the sloppy ones?
You just fucking grab him with his hand, cunt, and washes himself off. Fucking
Just wash himself
yeah,
off.
just wash it off.
I
man.
think that's a good one. Like, I think that'd be very...
the dog poo, all the miscellaneous shit. The dog poo,
dishes.
dishes. Now, but then where do you draw the line? But then humans were already so complacent as it is. Once these robots come in, man.
And how good are they really going to be able to do it to your liking? You know, some people, like, I know Tori, like, she does way more chores than I do around the house, but when I do certain chores, do you know how some people just like to do it their own way? And they're like, so why'd you do it this way? And I'm like, it's the same thing. I just got there. I got there in a different way. But how good would they be? Would they fold clothes like full proper?
They will be good. They will be good. Like right now, obviously it's very early, but they will be fucking.
And
good.
how long before some seedy cunt uses it as a little sex bot?
Well, that's the
that'll
thing.
happen too.
That's the thing too. It's
And
like
they're saying as well, it'd be good to tutor kids, like help your kids with the homework and shit. Which I mean, look at ChatGPT already. You know what I mean? Like, it's not far-fetched. Like, this stuff will happen soon. Like, real
You have a bot that's your kid's tutor.
Yeah, like, you're sitting there watching Netflix and your kid's doing homework on the kitchen table. The robot's there fucking helping them. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't like it, man, because it's just lazy parenting at that point.
we're gonna be like Wall-E.
And then all these parents before the bots are like, we've been cheated out of having so much more free time on our hands. Now these new parents are like, because already it's easy to just sit your kid down, I guess, in front of an iPad because, let's face it, kids can be a bit much sometimes. So you like just give them that, right? But now you're giving them not just an iPad, you're giving them this thing that almost has consciousness to a certain degree. You know what I mean? Did you see that the person that had a conversation with him they were like, I can't remember word for word, but it was like, oh, hey, Optimus, like, how are you today? He's like, yeah, I'm good. What's your name? And then he's having a simple conversation, but he's having a conversation with it, asking it questions and stuff.
That's not the robot, though. That was a human. They were humans. They were human doing the voices. So it was people in a different room, in a different location, talking through the...
See, the media, bro,
it's on Tesla, though, because they didn't really confirm that. But then a lot of the people... There's this dude I watched, Marquez Brownlee, on YouTube, who was going over the event and everything. He was there, and, like, he was talking to the engineers and shit, and, like, the technology is not... They were too quick. It takes a minute. In real life, you talk to ChatGPT, it has to buffer. It has to learn. Has to.
So it's actually not confirmed that there was the humans. Though.
I don't. It is. They were humans, but I don't think Tesla has openly said it. They've given they've given like dodgy answers, but it was 100%. That's why they all have human voices and different voices. It's human. I saw a video. I wish I could find it. I tried finding it earlier, but there was a video from the event where the guy doing the voice said a word wrong. Like he literally like mispronounced the word. So the robot won't do that. It's a human doing the voice. I wish I could find the video. I can't remember what word he said either, but all the comments were laughing about it. Like they can't like he literally said a word wrong. But yeah, so it was more the event. What I've seen was more what they're branding it as was more like a proof of concept. It's not like showing where the technology's at now. It's showing like what it could be. Yeah. That's basically what they're going for. Because they announced another thing which was called the Robo-Van, which is the same as a taxi, but it was like a 10-seater. Did you see that? Like the big one. So, yeah, I mean, it was just them showing off.
Would you trust the autopilot cars over the robot? Or would you rather the robot?
I'd rather the robot.
I'd rather the robot. Being in that car, bro, it's like you're trapped until you get to your... What if it fucking runs out of battery and you can't get out? You're just stuck.
Or if I want to go pee, or I want a snack.
Well, there's a video of they already have these automated taxis in America and some of the states. There was a video of a chick in one of the automated Waymo taxis, and these two dudes are crossing the road, and they have the car stopped, and they keep like harassing her through the windshield to like get her number and shit, like to give the number, but she's like, move, go away, like she's holding up the traffic and shit, because like the automated cars. They just stop. Like it's going to wait for them to go. But so there's a lot of shit like that, teething problems that they're going to have to fucking fix.
And what if they really wanted to like harm her? And usually if someone's outside your car trying to harm you, you just drive off. Yeah. But then this thing's just stuck there.
Yeah.
You know
what I mean? In those Waymo taxis, I think they have doors and they have, I think, override. I'm pretty sure. I don't know how the Waymo taxis work. But
I'd like to think if you're hopping in something like that, there has to be an override. There has to be an override.
Especially in this day and age. Like, it's not there yet. Like, fully, but
well, did you see how those cunts fucking launched the rocket and they caught it back in the fucking thing?
Yeah. That's crazy.
What the fuck? SpaceX
Starship.
They launched a rocket, and instead of it just blowing to smithereens and coming back to Earth, they were able to fucking reverse it back into the fucking thing, into its fucking...
So that rocket, so they've done that before where they've landed the boosters, right? And it doesn't have an arm. It's because it's a smaller rocket. They land the boosters in the water on a pad, right? But this one is a Starship, which is their biggest rocket, the biggest rocket ever produced. And that's the one that's going to take people to Mars, right? So they've been doing test flights and shit, but the first time they tested this arm that they have a big robotic arm. It's like chopsticks, and then the booster comes down and it like catches it before it touches the ground. So it helps like bring it down.
Yeah, okay.
Now was the first time they did it, and it was a success. Like they've been talking about this for a while. Like that was always the plan to have these robotic arms, but it was the first time they did it, like last week, and it worked. So I saw another thing. NASA launched a mission to Europa, which is Jupiter's moon. So they launched it to see if it's habitable for humans, because it's one of the most habitable, plausible planets. Like it's got an ocean of water under the ice and shit. Like it's like in our solar system, it's one of the most plausible places to live.
So how far away is it though?
6 years. So they've sent it on a 6-year journey, this rocket, to go inspect the moon. See if there's life on there, see if we could live there.
Can you imagine being on a fucking airplane for 6 years?
And it's like minus fucking 200 degrees Celsius in that fucking place too. So it's like,
fuck. What would you do? You'd be so bored.
But it's not the same 6 years. It's 6 years here, right? But is it 6 years when you're up there? Like, is it actually 6 years?
Well, it would take them 6 years to get there. I think it's the same or more.
6 years to get there. So you're on the ship for 6. That better have restaurants.
Yeah. Well, by the time
Korean barbecue.
by the time people are going, it'll probably be quicker. Technology will probably be better. By the time if they go with this mission and discover, we can actually live here, and in 6 years they start developing shit and like.
I wonder how far they can trim it down from 6 years. You know what I mean? No, it's 2 years now. Even like
I don't know, man. That's crazy.
I get antsy if I drive more than fucking 2 hours.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
I'm not good at long trips.
Fucking oath.
Do you see young Philly's been getting a bit too feely?
What's happened there? Is that legit or is that...
Yeah. So in Perth he's doing an Australian tour.
Yeah.
And in Perth he got extra diet. Or so he sexually assaulted some girl in Perth, and then he went to Sydney. I'm pretty sure Sydney, yeah, he went. And then he ended up doing a show there. But when he was doing a show, I think Sydney, when he was doing a show here, they called him and they actually
Send him back
to Perth to get tried because that's where the act took place.
Yeah.
And they're holding him there. So he's been charged with 4 counts of sexual penetration without consent and 3 counts of assault occasioning bodily harm. He's also facing a charge of impeding a person's normal breathing or circulation by applying pressure to their neck. Mr. Barrientos was casually dressed in a grey jumper and spoke only to acknowledge his name and the charges against him. So he obviously hasn't spoke out or said anything. And the media does anyone like this, they do him so dirty. They got him coming out of the plane, get in handcuffs. So they're all into it. Like they just get him as soon as he comes back. But they've got to have something on him for them to hold him. Not only to fly him back, but to hold him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
yeah. So and is he like famous?
Yeah.
Is
Oh,
he,
no,
You know, fucking Chunks.
Chunks and Young Philly.
I've seen some of the stuff that they put. He had shows on BBC. He's fucking done.
He's got a
heaps of shit.
Heinz sauce. He's collabing with a Heinz
his own
sauce,
Heinz sauce.
but they all dropped
pulled
him.
it.
They
Yeah,
all
they
pulled
dropped
everything. Everything. They've dropped him.
He was very famous.
Even the Chunks and Philly, they were doing a live show, but then that got pulled. They got cancelled. Chunks isn't speaking out about anything until something is formally, he gets tried or whatever. But everything's gone cold. He's turned all his comments off on TikTok.
wow. So he's fucked. He's an
And his
idiot.
latest song, people were pumping it. I didn't really enjoy it, but Tori always watches his shit and Young Philly stuff and all that, like all their podcasts and stuff. So she was gutted. But the song is like a kind of a sexual song. But now he's done this. The song seems creepy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because like if someone does a sexual song and then they get done with SA, it's like,
I seen a clip too of Chunks when they were doing their podcast, whatever they do. Chunks was talking about it, not about this, but talking about like dodgy guys and people who like do fucking sexual assault and shit. And he's like saying, if you're out there, you're one of them guys, and you're a fucking do better. Like, and then it pans to Philly, and he's like,
he looks guilty.
he's like,
He's like, oh shit.
And I think he said to Chunks on one podcast, he goes, what would you do if I was dating your sister? And he goes, oh, no. I guess, what do you mean? He's like, I've heard stories. Chunks even said that about Philly. Like, and he's like, what do you mean I'll treat your sister right? Like, blah, blah. And he's like, I got long wood and good manners. And everyone's like, you also have a fucking SA case against you now.
Yeah, it's funny how people, those little breadcrumbs, they don't get noticed until something happens, and then everyone goes back and is like,
Well, that's the
"Ooh."
thing. They're leaving breadcrumbs. These motherfuckers are leaving the trail, bro. And then no one picks up on it, bro. It's fucking crazy shit. That is fucked up.
And now they're calling him the fiddler now because like Young Philly. And then so Fiddler and Diddy, the diddler and the fiddler.
Fuck it, man.
Well, speaking about those cunts, I don't know if this guy.
Cunts.
I actually drove around the other day listening to the KSI song "Thick of It," and it's grown on me.
Yeah, it's not bad.
It's not that fucking bad. It's not that bad.
It's just corny. The lyrics are corny.
If you start it with "This is a Disney song" or a song for Disney, first of all, what is it for Disney? A movie, some random movie. If you say it like that before you listen to it, like, hey, just letting you know it's a Disney song.
It's a Disney movie.
Then you know from a Disney movie, you're not expecting something like hard. But for the kids, I can imagine kids like bumping to it. You know what I mean? Like
where I personally, from a production standpoint, where he fucked up, in my opinion,
is the Prime bottle.
No,
That's hilarious.
The Prime bottle.
That's so funny.
It was the beat. That guitar is so goofy. Like it sounds like a banjo, and then he's gone and sung this inspirational thing over the top of it. It's just, I feel like if he picked a different beat, it could have hit a bit different.
And it's just corny all around. Like the video clip's corny too. He's like from the screen to the ring, and he's like fucking in the
To the
ring.
pen, to the king.
Like,
Like,
it's just cringe. But yeah, it's not bad. It never was bad.
It's not that bad, man.
It's just,
like,
an average song. Can I get your opinions on something quickly? Right, I was just thinking about this the other day before I forget. Yesterday I was watching TV and they had an ad for fucking this show come on like about the Bali bombings, but it's like a drama and it's like the Aussies and they're just shit actors. Like I'm just thinking like that wasn't that long ago. It was 2002 or something, right?
Yeah,
and then imagine like your family member sitting there. You had your fucking sun blown
Blown
up
to
and
bits,
wildly,
yeah.
and then you look at the TV and you got these shit actors like doing like is that fucking like kind of weird? Like, do they get compensated for that or what? Like,
no, not at all.
what's the go with that?
No,
I
'cause
didn't even ask permission on it.
so many people would be getting compensated if that was the go. Because
Yeah.
nowadays,
They just get ripped off. man.
docos, they always embellish. When it's the dramatized version, you can't take everything so seriously.
Yeah.
It's more the docos where it's involving the people that were a part of it, like live docos of the
actual events.
If you were an actual bomber and then you're one of the people that, or something. But if it's someone just reenacting it, it's always embellished.
It was just funny because they're like shit actors, like doing
Yeah.
this shit Aussie thing. I'm thinking, that's kind of fucking weird. That's kind of fucked up.
And as soon as, like, unfortunately, like, yes, us Australians are talented, but compared to, like, American, we kind of don't really.
It's a bit, yeah.
You know what I mean? Unless it's a real good producer or something behind the scenes, it's hard. Like, we're not as good in terms of, like, the quality of actors, actresses, right?
We've got
We got Margot Robbie. She's
Margot
stand out. We got
yeah, but they're A-list, like
They're
you know,
A-list.
Hugh
like-
Jackman.
yeah,
like
but you're talking about
the local TV
Yeah,
shows, like
yeah.
on fucking Channel 9,
Yeah.
they're getting local talent. They're just
Yeah.
like, you know, starting out and shit's just
Yeah.
kind of funny.
I've got one more for me. Police in Germany are on the hunt for this guy.
This guy.
Who got caught speeding. He's dressed up as the Cookie Monster.
Which
Oh my god, that one.
fucking hell.
I'll put
That's genius.
I'll put a photo up on the YouTube. I kind of want to make that one of my cover arts for a song or something. I'll put it up on the YouTube. But German police say, though it is funny, we actually really need to find this guy and have a chat
No,
with
it
him
is funny.
because that costume is severely impairing his vision. So they've put out flyers asking if anyone knows who this cunt was.
Oh my god.
Did you? Yeah, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
Oh no, I should have used that when I got done on my phone. That would have. Oh no, that would have.
Should have been wearing a scream mask.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck it all.
Did you see Coogee Beach got closed because these mysterious black balls started washing on the shore?
No.
These mysterious black material started washing on the shore, so they closed the beach until further notice, and they sent them off for testing to see what it is. People are theorizing that it could be tar, like from an oil spill or something.
Yeah.
And when the tar gets in his clumps,
Coagulates.
in his clumps, but they don't know, so they sent it for testing. But you can see the photos and videos. It's all these weird little black balls. It look like little alien eggs or something.
It'd be
like
tar.
Sure.
It'd be oil.
I think that's a good guess. Like,
It'd be
it probably
oil.
is,
Because
but
there's
yeah.
oil rigs in the ocean and shit.
yeah.
And they're not meant to do much spillage, but who knows?
So yeah, that's what that was fucking crazy. Little local story for you. So you can't go to Coogee until they test these fucking things.
And when was that? Like recent?
Yeah, that was like yesterday or the day before.
Oh, shit.
Did you see Ned Brockman? He completes the epic 1,000-mile charity run for
1,000
for homelessness. So he's
For homelessness?
yeah. So he's actually run 1,000 miles, which is 1,609 kilometers, right?
Ooh.
So he ran 128 kilometers a day. So 128 kilometers a day
Holy
at the Sydney Olympic Park. And
So he was just doing circles.
just circles the
You're
whole time.
kidding.
He done 300,000 and something laps of just a circle. And he would eat, like, he would have his setup there. So he'd have his team, physiotherapist. He slept at they had a little gazebo thing. He slept there. They fed him in between. So, and he was that banged up, man. Like, his shoulder was like taped up by the end of it because you're running so much like this, right? Your shoulders kind of like get tense. And then he actually sized up in 2 shoe sizes because his feet were that swollen.
Fucking
So he was actually like a size whatever. He sized up to twice.
Holy
And
fuck.
he was having shin splints, so he had his shins taped up. He had his feet taped
My
up.
God.
Yeah, crazy, man. He had his nipples covered because his nipples were getting like
Lactating.
no, like he was the shirt was rubbing up against his nipples so
Yeah.
much, which they started like burning and like bleeding. Yeah, his nipples started bleeding.
Holy
not profusely, but blood started to rise into the surface. So he had tape on his nipples, his shoulder strapped, his shin strapped. His shoes looked fucking huge because he was just swollen. And
like Mickey Mouse feet. Like
he ended up raising. But he ended up raising 2.6 million for people
Wow.
experiencing homelessness. Now, this is the second big feat this guy's done. he done the original run across country or whatever. Like
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
he did Sydney to Perth or whatever.
Oh shit!
And now he's done
Wow.
this. So
obviously he's a runner. He's into running.
yeah,
right?
yeah, you'd like to think so, right?
So what do they do with the money?
So now it's charity. He doesn't get, the only thing he gets from this is clout and maybe sponsorships and maybe
Yeah.
but he doesn't get anything like physical money for it. He's just raised this much. Like Hamish from Hamish and Andy, he was like there speaking in on it and whatever, and like he got all this attention
Media
from it.
attention.
Even Israel Adesanya popped in, the UFC fighter, and ran with him for a little bit.
Yeah, right.
So he just have friends kind of joining him along the ride.
Yeah.
But that mental fortitude for someone like that, bro.
Oh.
Like imagine, there's one thing going for a massive run like this, but imagine just one circle.
Oh, that's what would get me. It's
Not even a change of
It's
scenery.
the circle. I'd
Yeah.
be like, bro, what the fuck?
Yeah, he was going live on TikTok the whole time for it as well.
Shit. So
Yeah.
wait, how long did it take him to complete?
He didn't end up breaking the world record. I don't know what the world record was, but he didn't do it, but he did complete it. I think it took him 10 days.
Fuck. That's crazy.
Obviously,
I think.
almost continuous, right?
Yeah, I think. I
What
could be
time
wrong.
did he go to sleep? Like, was he going to bed at a certain time? And
He was going to bed at a certain time, and he's I don't know when, but he'd obviously have everything structured. And like I said, he had a whole team. He had physios. He had everything there, which you kind of need to for that shit. It's not normal, bro, to run like that.
that's wild.
Yeah. But imagine being that selfless where you're like, I mean, he's probably doing it for a bit of clout as well, low key. But also the main thing would be charity. And like you just hope that, because homelessness is such a generalized, like, hey, charity for homelessness. It's like, okay, what is that money going towards?
$2 million.
Because because organizations that work on that, they need to get paid too.
Exactly.
So it's like, I just like to know where my money's going. And obviously his money would go into that, but you'd like to think every cent is. And naturally, it's probably not the case.
You read the fine print, it's probably like
They get a percentage.
97% of this is going to this, and 3% goes to charity. So then this guy probably goes and buys a fucking $2 million mansion on fucking Bondi Beach or something. Fucking 1% goes to charity.
Yeah.
I don't know, but probably not. This guy's obviously a good guy. So.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it can get dicey because people just think one thing, but it's never the case because, like you said, organizations, even the people helping him run this,
Need to get paid.
need to get paid.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, not everyone is as good-hearted as that fellow. Everyone else is going, hectic, this guy's going to do this. How do we then get our
Cash
piece
in.
of the pie? That's always the case. Doesn't matter what anyone says. They go, no, man, that's not the case, bro. No, it is the fucking case. Like, that's literally what business is. It's you're always trying to get your little piece of the pie.
Yeah.
Which is it sucks. It's sad, but that's just the way it is, man.
Yeah.
That's really the way it is.
I got in Melbourne, you can now receive a $312 fine for taking your bins out too early.
Oh yeah, okay. So when you're a lazy cunt, you're like, fuck doing it tomorrow, do it now, and leave it on the curb for 7 days.
But what happens if you have a big fucking cook up at yours and like all your mates are there, you have a big feed, and then you know how sometimes your bins get overloaded and stuff. How crazy though that I could understand maybe late because then you're like, you fucking lazy cunt. But someone's trying to be proactive.
Yeah.
And you're like,
Too early.
Sorry, mate.
You can't have too early, too late. You got to have it at this time.
Like I love Australia. Don't get me wrong. We're such a safe country in comparison. But with that safety comes a
Any
whole
state.
lot of rules.
Oh,
bro.
yeah.
Any state.
We're communists, bro. We're borderline communists.
Yeah, like that's like, when any American gives Australia shit for being too held down by the government, it's like, yeah, but
It's not that
It's
bad.
kind of like a well-behaved kid. It's like, I had strict parents being the government, but look at me now. Like, there's barely, you know what I mean?
We're not shooting each other.
No,
No hurricanes. No fucking crocodiles.
No hurricanes.
Well, we
no
got crocodiles.
Crocs in the kitchen. Yeah, well, our crocs don't come in our kitchen and
not
shit
in the
when
kitchen,
it floods
no,
and
no.
shit. Like, fuck. Yeah. Well, that's it for me, man. I've got nothing else.
Yeah, I think that'll do.
yeah, that's it from me, man, as well.
Well, how long did we go for today? 3.5 hours.
What?
No,
It's 9:30.
no, it's.
Both your eyes going ding.
Let's go,
Guys,
Buy
baby.
Hydro Grip.
Hydro Grip, baby.
Listen to my song, Feel Myself, play Friendly Fire's
My
new
album. You've got Lot 54 this week. Synergy. The countdown is fucking on. Joey K was here today having a bit of a practice, man. The mixing is good. The song choices are good. DZ's got his set ready. Versus set is ready. By Steven's got a new track for the show and everything. I'm dropping some of my fucking tracks from this album. I'm excited, man. It's almost
Let's go.
Guys, as always, thank you so much for listening. We'll catch you in the next one.
Cheers.